think that's working now. Let me check my... I think the other night it was using the wrong mic settings. Well, let me know, folks, if that's coming in a whole lot better than the other night. I don't know, for whatever reason it jumped over to the camera mic, but it should be coming in 100% now. Everybody should be able to see anything, hear everything. We have Ronan. We have Ronan. Sound on,
Hello.
but relatively quiet. It's bouncing like a motherfucker in my OBS, Mr. Willis. Just shy of the red. But, okay, should be good. We'll wing it. We'll go from there. Yeah. I see Mr. Grasso in the chat. If Mr. Grasso wants to bring his topic. I didn't. I've been spending the last couple of days swimming in the loch and spending time with the child. So I haven't sorted anybody, but you know yourselves, Saturday night, open panel. We'll go with it. We've got Ronan. Ronan likes to argue. You like to argue, Ronan?
No, actually, I'd like to carry a simple, direct conversation, but usually, as it turns out, the person I'm chatting with disagrees, and when they start calling me names like asshole, which is typical, I know that their position is indefensible. So they want to start yelling, and then I have fun yelling back. You know, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. But I do realize that their position is indefensible, you know,
well,
and I've proven as much.
It would be your opinion that their opinion is indefensible.
Well, yeah, because my opinion is not based on what I think. It's based on what I understand.
On Tangelo, you have an awful whine in the background that's just vanished as I said that. But you have an awful, like, electrical whine. Had an electrical whine.
Yeah, it's the I have a tower PC, and it's the fan, right? It's starting to make noise. It's kind of old, the PC. So.
Oh no! I think it was.
So, I think it's gone now, right?
Yeah, gone now. All's good. Hello, on Tangelo, and Stephen, you slipped in.
Guys.
Thank you very much for slipping in. You're looking quite. Wow, very suave tonight, aren't we? Bit of chest hair and, you know, nice shirt and all.
Well,
you know.
yeah, no, sure, I have to. So I was out like earlier, right? Or like during the day today, I was wearing this shirt. I'm not gonna lie to you. Son, it was fucking down here. Like, it was ridiculous. It's been ridiculously fucking warm today in Ireland. It's just
we had 28 degrees at the lock, like.
Yeah, it was fucking 30 down here.
Yeah, at least we had water to jump into. Like, it was lovely and cold. I spent all day just jumping in the water, just keeping cool.
I think I would need about at least 10 years to learn the accent that you guys have.
And we're not even speaking that fast.
No, not like, relatively speaking, no, we're not.
So, Simos has came. Thank you, Simos.
Hello. Yes, it's still 24 here, by the way.
Yeah, it's fucking warm here. Like, the child's not even wearing. She's in there in just a pair of pajamas or a pair of fucking underwear. That's it. And she's like, "Daddy, it's really warm." I'm like, "Just go to bed. Just go to bed." Yeah. Just shout out to the chat. Rabs here, Secular Pagan Mums here, Maya, Crafty, Mr. Willis, Savage has the link. Ginger Nation on the way to the hospital.
Savage.
Sorry. Everybody's here. Thank you all for coming. Thank you. I was really worried. I didn't think anyone was going to join. I hadn't spent any time. We were hoping me and Simos were talking to Michael Grando last night. He'll be here next Saturday, Simos.
Okay. Good.
He was renovating the house, and when he got home yesterday after our chat, it wasn't done properly. So if anyone's renovated a house or done any like that, my mother's in the chat. You know what renovating a house is like, Mum. You go home and the workers haven't done what you asked. It's a disaster.
Hello, Mrs. MathPig.
Yeah, let me quick answer here to Minard Saves. He said here, Tangelo, if Jesus was perfect, why did he need to be circumcised? Well, that's easy to answer, because he was actually a law-keeping Jew. So he was under the law and he was not exempt of it. That's why.
Well, thank you.
He needed the sign. He needed the sign. As if being the Son of God wasn't enough. He needed that extra little sign.
Well, that extra little bit missing. Nothing extra like that.
Yeah, true. True.
And saying that we're all
I mean-
UK, we're all fully fledged. Most of us are fully fledged men here. We're all a lot of us are from in the UK. Hello, Crafty.
Hello,
Fledged men.
Keela.
I don't even know
How
what
are
that
we?
means.
Well, I'm not circumcised. Are you circumcised, Simos?
I'm not. No.
There you go.
I see. Fully fledged. Okay.
How's the
I
baby?
think of it more as being a complete man.
Okay, I'm fine. I'm finding it hard not to take this personally. I'm not gonna lie. This fucking hood wearing bastards.
There's a baby
Baby is sleeping.
and a toe. Couple of toes.
Yeah. Baby has just gotten to sleep. Thank fuck. Well, he's still kind of threatening to wake, but yeah, he's just had his bottle and he's winded and everything, and yeah, he's happy there, happy out.
Well, brilliant. We'll not be too loud. We'll try and keep the noise
Well,
to.
I've my headphones on, so we're good.
Mine's on the other
as I
side.
Yeah, as long as I can remember not to scream at anyone, we're good.
Mine was in here about 10 minutes ago and just walked in. Was just wanted to tell you I love you, Daddy. And I was like, yeah, you're supposed to be in bed now. Go get the fuck back in bed. I walked in earlier and she was not in bed. She's like a wee desk, set of bunk beds, and she has the desk underneath it. And she was sitting at the desk in nothing but underwear with a pair of scissors and some like paper, and she was cutting it up, making signs. She has labelled every single room in this house with a sign with just insulation tape and a picture of squiggles. Every single door now has a sign.
But that's sweet to MathPig, because my daughter, she is 8 and she has such a hard time to say to my wife and to me that she loves us, and she has some kind of block, or I don't know.
I'm sorry, man.
Did somebody run away?
Ronan ran away.
Oh, why?
Don't know. He didn't even say hello.
He doesn't like our accents.
He did say
Yeah.
before I went live that accents intimidate him because he can't understand them sometimes. So I understand for a point where he's coming from.
Yeah, okay, that's understandable.
I had a conversation with Savage and a person who would be had the cochlear implant. And a person from Discord we met, that conversation we had about the cochlear implant and stuff, and someone who had that, and Savage could talk away to the person, and I was struggling with their accent, so to speak, their mannerisms, but Savage was so I just sat there for about 20 minutes and was quiet. I couldn't understand anything. So I do understand accents and things like that, and I'm sounding really rude now. Simos, hi, mice from wheat.
Hey, there you go.
Hello.
Mice from wheat. John Baptiste, something or another?
Yes, yeah. John Baptiste von Helmont. Yeah.
Von Helmont, there you go.
So, Antangelo, you said you had a topic, subject, or something you would like to mention. I'm not going to give anyone a guess because it might be a little obvious. And I'm not going to scream demonstrate God on you. I am going to say it was a wee bit overdue for the video, but it was good to see the apology video. I did see it. It was good to see it. And other than that, what's your topic? And don't say fucking something mad. Go on.
No, I don't want to. I mean, I was joking in the side chat. I wasn't intending to come in and actually bring the topic. If you want to know what I would have said, yes, but I'm not
Yeah,
expecting
now you've got me
that,
curious now.
Well, I usually just joke when I come into a side chat, and they call me now the Shroud Boy.
Well, you do like the shroud.
The what? The shout boy.
Shroud.
No,
Okay.
the
Shroud of Turin?
Boy.
Oh, the shroud. Yes, right. I remember. Yeah.
You're under the belief that the Shroud of Turin is
Oh,
actually a thing and not stupid. And
Well, I had a debate on that, and you can look it up, Otangelo against David Neff. And yeah, I bring several things on the table. But actually, I do that there are so many atheist streams now on the channels about the historical Jesus, if it was a myth, if he even existed, things like that.
mhm.
And when I see that, then I just play in the side chat and put just Shroud of Turin.
I'm sorry.
When somebody says Shroud of Turin, I usually bring up the napkin of Naples.
I wasn't laughing at you, but it's just, MathPig, that was the least subtle way. Just like, you believe that stupid. It was so direct to the point. There was no subtlety at all.
Do you know me for subtlety?
Well, I am used.
But even still.
I mean, I'm so used to it, you know. So I really, I don't care. You can call it whatever you want, but I want really someone which has studied the topic as I have to tell me that, and then I will consider it. But most have not looked into it as I have. So.
Oh, I did. I looked into it. It's stupid.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I mean, when you say looked into it, you know, I remember, being as old as I am, of course, I remember the constant news dribble that has come out over the years about the Shroud of Turin. I mean, I remember the first or the second. Oh, it wasn't the first. I remember the second dating of the Shroud. Do you remember?
There was
when
actually
that happened?
there was just one dating in 1988, and they dated it to 1260 to 1390. The
Right.
problem is that there is a small book which is precisely dated to 1195, or at least 70 years before 1260, and it
Right.
has a precise image of the Shroud of Turin, of Jesus on the Shroud of Turin. So it is at least.
Hang on. What do you mean, an image of Jesus on the Shroud of Turin? Right, because of course, you know, shrouds generally are used for humans. So therefore, if you know, I mean, you just saying there's a picture of a human in a book dated to 11 something or another.
I see Crafty muting and unmuting, so I'm going to go
Let
Crafty
me
afterwards.
tell you exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have seen what you're talking about, to be honest with you, and it's a little unconvincing, but okay.
Just to say, the reason why I am muting and unmuting is because this little shit keeps throwing out a soother. So, like, I have to keep putting his pacifier back in his mouth before he screams the place down. So that's why I keep muting.
You call it a pacifier
Yeah, so
rather than a dummy. Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Pacifier,
I did pick
soother,
up on that as
dummy,
well.
same fucking thing.
It's the same thing, but
we
it's
call
Pick up
it
on
a
that as well. Don't worry.
yeah, it's a.
I usually call it a soother, but sometimes pacifier because there's a lot of Americans in your chat, so they understand what I'm saying.
Ah, yes. So you're doing it for the audience, and thank you, Keelan.
Yes.
So Simon,
I'm
let
a
me
nice
quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to continue the topic if it's not required. Don't want to get into it. Go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah, a quick one.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so in the Budapest National Library is a Hungarian Prey manuscript or Prey Codex, the oldest surviving text of the Hungarian language. It was written between 1192 and 1195. That means 65 years before the earliest carbon-14 date of the 1988 tests. On the illustration shows preparations of the burial of Christ. The picture includes a burial cloth with the same herringbone weave as the shroud, plus 4 holes near one of the edges. The holes form an L shape. This odd pattern of holes is found on the Shroud of Turin. They are burn holes, perhaps a hot poker or incense embers that predate the 1532 fire. There are 4 sets of the holes, showing how the shroud must have been folded in 4 layers when the holes were made. The holes in the top layer are large and they progressively smaller in the next 3. Yeah, so that's... I can put the link here if you guys want.
Yeah, go and put the link in. Yeah, I can't guarantee that I'll actually look at it though, because there's something very dry about this topic. I don't know what it is.
Would you agree? Right, like you said, there's 65 years of a difference from the earliest date of what they give to what your evidence shows.
Of the radiocarbon dating, yes.
Right. Well, radiocarbon dating is with any dating is not specific to that it was on a Wednesday on the 13th of this date on that month. You know, there is a a buffer on them. So 65 years doesn't seem...
No, they are giving between 1260 and 1390. Okay.
Okay, well, the evidence you're putting forward to me in that sentence doesn't say to me that it definitely is 100% older than what it is. It just says to me that, you know, there's more of a buffer on the carbon dating. Like, you know, it's not a specific thing.
Well, the thing is that this book is from 1192, so at least the radiocarbon dating is at least 65 years off. That's what it basically says.
Okay.
But there is a rich...
Not 1,000 years off, though.
Yeah, but there is a rich pre-1350 story. There are even science papers on that, which are indicative that it is older than from the 13th century.
But not real.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not hugely convincing. But I mean...
the thing which I always
something about 944 AD, 96. Oh, there's a coin here.
So I am putting here I'm putting here in the private side chat the link to a paper, documented references to the burial linen.
To be honest, if I can just interrupt on Tangelo, right? Nobody's going to read your papers. People want to talk to you about it. I think that I don't know if you haven't caught this on yet. You put loads of links in the side chat and the private chat. Nobody really reads them, right? They don't. Well, most people don't read them, right?
I mean, look, when we're on a live stream like this, we don't have time to read them. I'm just going to be honest with you. We don't have time to read them. So
no, I mean, if someone is interested in the topic, you can save the link and then you can look it up.
Can I ask you after Keela's finished? Sorry, Keela, go on ahead. I did interrupt you.
I'm finished. I'm finished. Can I just say though? Jay Patrick, you are really worrying me there. Fucking brood catnip, what the fuck?
Jay, get in here to fuck. There's room for 3 more. Come on, like. On Tangelo, why is the shroud so important to you?
Well, the thing is that the image on the shroud is unexplained by science.
Sorry, say that again. I just, if you could start again, I missed the start.
Yeah. The image on the shroud is unexplained by science. So nobody has any clue whatsoever about how it could have been made by an artist, like a painting or a chemical process or something like that. It is it is something which is unexplained by science, and there are many things.
Not exactly what I've heard, but. Carry on. I would dispute that first fact, but carry on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that you guys want to have a technical, scientific conversation on what I am talking about. So I'm saying just look up the links which I've put here in the side chat if you're interested in the topic. I really don't want to hijack the stream.
It's an open panel, and I told people to bring a topic.
Is that not just a massive argument from ignorance fallacy?
No, it's not, because well, I can read to you what they actually have discovered, what actually made that image, and I think it is very fascinating.
I do find it very disturbing that you use the word science, a scientific discussion. Everyone here is interested in having a scientific discussion. Our definitions of science might differ somewhat, but the idea that someone has the shroud and says, "Hey, this was the shroud of this proves God, this proves religion, this proves this." No, you're
Jesus.
talking about fucking
Not just God.
Well, I am not saying that it proves something, because in the end, anyone has to make up its own mind what it means to them. Okay.
Yeah, but it's just I just want to make that point. It's very difficult to hear someone talk about scientific discussions when you're talking about something like this. I just wanted to make that point.
Well, the thing is that the shroud is the most scientifically investigated artifact that we know of, and there are many science papers.
Just know straight away.
What?
When you make blanket statements like that, obviously people are going to push back, right? The most scientific. No, that's just rubbish. It was debunked in the 80s, right? So here we are 40 years later, okay, and I understand that you found lots of references, etc., etc., and you know this allegedly for you causes you know you to doubt the scientific consensus on the shroud, right? But one thing I'm not hearing, right, is there is a definitive test being made on the shroud which shows it's 2,000 years old, and in fact is Jesus' shroud. None of that's all up for grabs as far as I can see. All you're doing is just saying some scientists have come along, they've done some experiments, and I have reason to doubt the experiments.
Well, Simon,
now that is exactly what Stephen says. That is an argument from incredulity, argument from ignorance. If that's so your Simon, reason for believing it is true.
Yeah. Go so ahead. Simon, first of all, saying well it was debunked. No, I disagree with that. What has been said is that supposedly the radiocarbon dating dates it to 1260 to 1390. That is something which is hardly being disputed. And that is what science is about. It is about discussing evidence. So saying in a conclusive manner it has been refuted, I disagree on that.
No. It was refuted. But the point being is, what is your scientific evidence that it is 2,000 years old, right, or more than now? That it is 2,000 years old and that it is Jesus. What's your scientific evidence that it is that? Because all you're saying, hang on a minute, Jay, all you're saying is that I don't believe the scientific evidence that's been given to show that it's 1,000 years old.
And to tack onto that, I want to know how you reconciled when Darth told you that couldn't possibly be Jesus, because that Jesus has long hair.
You're a cunt.
That was beautiful.
You're a cunt there.
Yeah, that was beautiful, Jay, because I left that conversation frustrated because he didn't leave me talk whatsoever. He interrupted me, and he didn't even listen to what I was saying. He was playing the game.
Please, Angelo, please tell me what is your ultimate standard of scientific proof that shows that it's 2,000. Oh, sorry, I was just channeling Darth. I don't know what happened.
Okay, let's stop being dicks.
Right. Stop let's stop using that fucking wanker's name, alright? It's asshole 104 if you're going to refer to him. He doesn't even deserve to be mentioned. But...
Sorry, what is your scientific proof that it's 2,000 years old and that it is Jesus, please? Go ahead.
Well, again, we are not talking about proofs. Science doesn't talk about proofs. It talks about evidence which is being tested.
It uses proofs.
Well, first of all, we are talking about a historical artifact. Nobody has a time machine to go back and see what actually happened. So what you can do is investigate it, and then you come to your conclusion, which isn't the proof. It is just the best guess, let's say. Okay. So if you think
what is your scientific evidence that it is 2,000 years old and that it is Jesus? Go ahead, please.
That's a direct question.
I can give you a science paper from 2022. It is from Liberato De Caro, X-ray dating of a Turin shroud linen sample. The conclusion of that science paper is the experimental results are compatible with the hypothesis that the Turin shroud is a 2,000-year-old relic as supposed by Christian tradition. I can give you the link and you can look up the science paper.
Yeah, we'll definitely put the link in for that, for sure. Okay, so you're saying that because, you know, I mean, anything is compatible with a supernatural deity. All right, so just saying it's compatible is not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is evidence, scientific evidence, right, that shows that it is 2,000 years old and that it is Jesus.
I'm just giving. That's just what I am giving in the science paper.
No, you're not. You just read out that it's compatible with Jesus.
Well, again, we are not talking about proofs. Historical science isn't about
I'm not talking about compatibility either. Right? Well, as I just said, if you take it that Jesus is God, right, then anything is compatible.
Simon,
right?
I have
resurrection
no
is compatible with Jesus, correct?
Simon, I have no proofs. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. So all you're saying is I don't believe the scientific evidence that it is 1,000 years old. Okay, and I don't believe the carbon dating. Okay, this is what all you're saying at the moment, and therefore I believe it is Jesus.
And I am saying there are more recent scientific papers which disagree with the carbon dating from 1988.
Yeah, can I just make the point, when we're talking about scientific consensus, when we're talking about scientific discussion, one of the biggest issues when it comes to having a scientific discussion or believing the science is peer review. And so when you have 99.999% of scientists coming out and saying, and even religious biases scientists coming out and saying, this is not real, this is not true, we have no way of actually proving that this belonged to Jesus. Why is it that you are latching on to the one or two outsiders' perspectives and you are refusing to understand peer review or accept the peer review of 99.999%? Can you just
disagree? I disagree with you, and I'll quote here. So 25 multidisciplinary tests on the STURP team. That is when in 1978 the team had a week time to make all kind of scientific tests which were not religiously biased. They were scientists. And
no, but that's not answering my question.
No, I am answering exactly your question. So these 25 multidisciplinary tests of the STURP team are simply dismissed in favor of a highly debated carbon-14 test for which there are excellent reasons to believe that it was invalid. So that is the conclusion of that team. We can conclude for now that the shroud image is that of a real human form of a scourged, crucified man. It is not the product of an artist. The blood stains are composed of hemoglobin and also give a positive test for serum albumin. The image is an ongoing mystery, and until further chemical studies are made, perhaps by this group of scientists or perhaps by some scientists in the future, the problem remains unsolved. So yes, they were unable to prove that it is a forgery.
But yeah, so what they're saying is our tests are inconclusive. What I'm asking you, Artangelo, and I'm trying to be nice about this, what I'm asking you is 99.9% of scientists and more, even including the people who would desperately want this to be the shroud of Jesus, right, belonging to Jesus, 99.99999% of peer review of these kind of papers are saying this is bullshit. What I'm asking you is why it is you are choosing to accept the tiniest of percentages over the massive amounts of people, even the people that want this to be true, are saying it's not real. It's not.
Where do you have this number from?
From research, from actually looking at the amount.
Yeah, can you give me any quote which gives that number, that 99.9%?
I think it's an arbitrary number.
Of the time papers claim that it is a forgery. Can you give me any kind of reference to that claim? Because I disagree completely with that
I think it would be more hyperbolic and arbitrary, as in it's a high percentage would be better than 99%. But yeah, I don't think she's being specific on that.
Yeah,
well, you can't be.
I agree with you on that, MathPig.
Yes, I think she means high percentage.
My kind of first point was that, like, when this topic was brought up, right, and like when you said it, you literally said scientists can't explain this, so, and then kind of hinting at that it might be true. I mean, that is literally an argument from ignorance.
No, it's not. I'll give you an example. Let me give you an example, Stephen.
Kind of literally
let me give you.
Okay, quick example. If I can, I just want to jump in. You can give your quick example if you can keep it short on Tangelo, and then I do want to hand over to Fabio and let Fabio ask you a few questions or make a few statements. I think that could be interesting
Stephen, show. If I am looking in my wallet and I do not find any coins there, and I tell you, Stephen, I've not found any coins in my wallet, then saying that I didn't find any coins is not an argument from ignorance, but an informed conclusion based on my investigation. It is a negative situation where I didn't find any coins.
That's not an analogy, which is even worse.
That's nowhere even close to. It's not. It's literally not even close. It's like going, you know, there once was a man who walked down the street, and then I once saw a bird in the sky. Like, you're trying to compare the two. They're nowhere even close to being similar. You
Well,
literally said,
you literally said, if I look in my wallet and there's no coins, that's the scientific evidence we're looking for.
Yeah, and that's exactly analogous to what has been done with the Shroud of Turin, where scientists, they have done all kind of tests to find out if it was a forgery, and they were unable to find any traces of pigments which would indicate it was a painting. They have not found any indication that it was a chemical process by vapor or something like that, and they have no evidence whatsoever that it was forged in some kind of form. So what does that lead you to?
That's an argument from ignorance, exactly.
Right.
Nothing. It leads you to absolutely nothing. What you've literally just said is, right? You've just said this hasn't been disproven yet, so therefore we must believe it. Absolutely not. Do you have any idea how many things, how many even hypothetical things have not been disproven? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can't go around believing things that haven't been disproven simply because they haven't been. That's ridiculous.
So let me
very quickly on Tangelo, I do want to say, if I can, Mowdy, thank you very much. Our great leader,
Fabio,
our great leader has joined. You know, so and then Fabio. So on Tangelo, if you want to just round up rather than it becoming back and forth over use this.
They have actually figured out what actually brought that image to the shroud, and I'll quote you here. It has been confirmed that the image is a result of oxidation, dehydration, and conjugation of the fibers of the shroud themselves. It is like the imaged areas on the shroud suddenly rapidly aged compared to the rest of the shroud. The image on the shroud is the only one of its kind in the world, and there are no known methods that can account for the totality of the image, nor can any combination of physical, chemical, biological, or medical circumstances explain the image adequately. That is one of the conclusions of the STURP team.
Exactly,
I don't think
and that's why we doubt such studies.
I don't think
because when they say there is no possible, that's just a massive argument from ignorance again.
I don't think you ever answered why it's so important to you. And Fabio, I'm going to give the floor to you. This could be entertaining.
Yeah.
Go Fabio.
About what? The Shroud of Turin?
What would you have? You any questions or anything that you would like to state, or any questions for?
No. Listen, I mean, I have no question of Tangelo, you know, as his conviction. So it's not up to me to make him change his mind or not. I would just say one thing for reasons why I think I say what I say, and 2 comments about what he just said. So my opinion is that the Shroud of Turin is bullshit. Everybody knows that.
You said I was bad calling it stupid.
I can give you 4 reasons on top of my head because of bullshit. But the first one is that the only carbon-14 datation, you know, doesn't, you know, adhere to the theory. The second one is the blood. There were some tests done with the blood. Now, this is really interesting because it goes back to the fact that I think he said that nobody has been able to disregard the authenticity and stuff like that. That is really funny because the first guy which tested the blood said, no, that's pigment, that's a painting. And the guy was thrown away from the study committee at the time. So they took 2 other guys that said, oh, yeah, we found hemoglobin. Unfortunately, the test they did with hemoglobin involved a thing which I don't know in English, but in Italian is porphyrin. And it's something that basically you can figure out. I mean, you can detect blood in vegetables with that kind of test. So it wasn't really a good test. A lot of people have disputed that, you know, Garlaschelli, I mean, a lot of people. So the third reason would be the position of the ends. The position of the ends is totally wrong for a death, because even if you consider rigor mortis, the the hands should go on your side, and then eventually get back. Eventually, where the stomach is, they will never remain at the pew where they are. And this, has been tested multiple times with actual cadavers. The fourth thing is that the church, which is the owner of the shroud, they say it's bullshit. In the 14th century, they actually said that is a fake and people should not worship because we know it's fake. The position of the church now is that they have no position about it. They just, say, yeah, I mean, it's something that if people can, it's a relic. I mean, you can go. It's good for devotion and stuff like that, as much as any other painting. But the church now has absolutely no position. One more thing about the link that he posted. De Caro, which I'm sure it's a very smart guy, it's a super intelligent guy, but just for, to put things in perspective, Liberato De Caro is a deacon and he teaches crystallography. Now, I'm not saying that the paper that he said is wrong or not, but maybe I'm just, weird. If I had to go to somebody to figure out if something is legit or not, especially if involves this kind of test, carbon-14, chemical analysis, stuff like that, I personally would not go to somebody which teaches crystallography. But I mean, maybe it's just me being weird. I don't know. So yeah. That's all I have to say.
Funnily enough, the crystals told me you were going to say that.
No, I appreciate your criticism, which is actually well informed, and I'm surprised about that. I've put here in the private chat a link on a debate that I had with David Neff, and all these bullet points, they were brought up by my opponent, and you can look up there are answers to each of these arguments. So.
You don't could you not give us your answers in short form now, Antonio?
I can
I'm sure they have answers.
I can do that.
I'm sure they have answers. The main problem is that what I'm sure of is that you do not have any answers for the fourth point, and you cannot have answers for the second point because you would have to talk with people which actually disagree with the point and they have got pretty strong opinions. So again, I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm just here, MathPig asked me what I think about it, and I said what I think about it, and those were the reasons why. And I don't think that any further conversation, might be the case, but I'm really skeptical about the fact that any further conversation could get to a to a better point than you have your position. I understand your position. There's a lot of people who believe that. I have my position, and those are the reasons why, and so that's pretty much it. And again, I don't want to disparage you, Tangela. I know you're big, researching and reading into that a lot, but I'm struggling to think that you're going to be the final arbiter of that topic, especially with so much weight on the other side. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, that's it.
First of all, I am not claiming to be an arbiter or something like that. All I can do is I can say why I believe that it is authentic.
Yeah.
And if other people do disagree with me, that is normal. And we just respect each other and each one's opinion on this and other topics. So no problem
that's
with
it.
me. But,
yeah. That's all I did. And
it's interesting to see that they declare no conflicts of interest, given what you're saying, Fabio, about the person that's on this survey. Also, it doesn't seem to be peer-reviewed at all, this particular study that you've think. So I wouldn't call this scientific in the
No.
sense.
Of course, it's not peer-reviewed. You're shitting me. It can't be.
I'm not shitting you, Fabio. You know me. I'd never shit you.
Shit on you. That's a different thing. Marty, you're unmuted.
But that's only if he pays me. So you can do that. But
as much as you need.
Paper has actually been peer reviewed, and it's here in the paper. So no.
But at the bottom, it seems to.
It was peer reviewed. So
it says institutional peer review board, not applicable. In the study you've posted.
Oops.
Our great leader.
It says conflicts of interest. The authors declare no conflicts of interest.
Which is funny, because he's a deacon. He's actually a deacon.
Has Marty anything to add?
I actually found a really an interesting article about Jesus having short hair on the BBC. I'm not joking. It's there. Darth frustrated Otangelo with it. I'm just saying. One Christian to another. Now who the hell do you believe?
Sick J, you wee bastard.
Yeah. There you go.
No, but I mean, it's an interesting relic, you know. It's an interesting, object of devotion. It's like, the blood of San Gennaro in Naples. I mean,
yeah.
I've another.
Nobody takes it seriously, but I mean, it's. So it's like, I mean, it's a magnet for devotion, and I understand that, I really understand it without being, fictitious or, or funny. I get it, but I mean,
I disagree.
Can I hold on? I want to ask Antangelo a question. Right, you really like the shroud, okay? I'm not going to be as nice as Fabio was. You really like the shroud, and as Fabio has just mentioned, there is other artifacts out there in the world that would have creditations towards them from the church, maybe, or creditations from their followers, or local churches, this thing, whatever. We've got the toe of John the Baptist, we've got this sort of shit, right?
I mean, listen, at least there are probably something like 150 nails from the cross of Jesus.
Yeah.
And there is enough wood from the cross of Jesus to build a fucking Noah's Ark, if that existed.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I want to ask on Tangelo. Does the Shroud of Turin have the stature with you that it does because it's original, because it stands out? Like, I did ask this earlier and someone interrupted when you were trying to explain, so I don't think I got the answer. But why is the shroud so important to you and you just can't get into John the Baptist's big toe?
Well, first of all, I don't care about the opinion of the Catholic Church, which actually today they are neutral. They are not saying it's a fake. They are not saying it's original. They are just neutral in regards of that. And secondly, it is a combined series of different issues which I think converge to the conclusion that it is not a forgery, but that it is effectively the burial shroud of Jesus.
And is there anything else out there in the Christian community, the Jesus community, whatever way you want to you refer to it, across all religions, is there another artifact that you give the same stature and credibility to as the shroud?
No.
Can I just make a point there?
Go on ahead, Keela.
Sorry, I just want to point out before you go, Keela, I specifically said that the church now takes no position, which is what Otangelo said. So I just want to be sure that I said what I said. So that's it.
Yeah, and I want to back up that point. There's a reason why they've taken a neutral stance. There's two reasons, actually. One is the decline of their power in recent years. And the other is because it's a tourist trap. It is a way of getting more wealth. It's a way of getting more status. It's a way of getting money out of people and their faith, blind faith. So of course they're not going to. Back in the 12th century, they had quite a lot of power, or their power was on the up. Now their power is on the decline, and in the last 150 years or so, they've taken neutral stances on various items of dubious means that they might have taken more prominent stances on before. So that and part of it is because of power, part of it is because of income. They want to actually get money out of people, and they can charge people to see these things. So yeah,
you can take it to the extreme and go look at shows like Ancient Aliens. They never say directly it's aliens. It could be aliens. It gets people in. It gets the attention of people. Leaving that option open there are always going to be people who then, like yourself on times, will believe it.
Also, just to point out, this comes from a period of European history where relics were just abundant to the point
Everywhere.
of being
Yeah.
ridiculous. I mean, you know, there's the number of shards of the real cross that you can find littered across Europe is enough to crucify about 20 gods.
Really?
You know, well, I mean, I'm just saying, it's like the joke in the joke in Blackadder was that he was selling, you know, 4 thumbs of the bones of Jesus, right?
Yeah, they are still around. They have some part of wood that they say it's from the cross of Jesus. In Paris, there
Correct.
is kind of a mantle which they say belonged to Jesus and things like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, for me, that is not relevant, and I don't believe it.
Why don't you believe that? No.
Because it's not irrelevant to me.
Okay, so only the things that are relevant to you are the things that you want to believe, that you do believe, I should say.
No, the shroud is relevant to me. I actually went.
No, I'm not saying what it is relevant. I'm
carbon.
saying why don't you believe these other relics that are dated also to medieval Europe?
Well, why should I believe these things? There is
Well,
a reason why I believe
because
in
they
the shroud.
claim to be the true thumbs or bones of Jesus.
But claims are not sufficient to me. I take that.
But the relics exist, though. Do you think the relics exist?
Yeah, I just said I know that they exist.
Okay.
Well, if you have those relics that exist, and you have this relic, the Shroud of Turin, that exists, but you believe that relic, the Shroud of Turin relic, comports to Jesus Christ's existence, then what's wrong with the other relics again?
Yeah, that's.
I mean, could you just explain what you mean not relevant to me means?
Maybe they are even genuine. I don't know. I've not investigated it. It is not relevant to me. So that's it.
So I think just declaring that you have a bias to believe the Shroud of Turin is, in fact, the true Shroud of.
Well, the difference, Simon, is that as I said previously, I invested time to study it. I was a skeptic of it when the radiocarbon dating came out. I knew about it before that test in 1988. Before I believed it was genuine. When the radiocarbon dating came out, I disbelieved it. I believed in the data from that test, and I remained a skeptic for about 20 years. Okay. And then I looked again into it, and I saw that there was new information. And after careful examination, I said to myself, well, it seems to me that it is genuine.
Right. And by new information, you mean these papers that you're posting, right? Which don't seem to bear out exactly what you're saying. And it seems to me that they are themselves putting a massive caveat in when they say these are just theoretical possibilities.
Well, did you read them? Did you actually spend time to have a closer look?
I've just spent some time looking through them. Obviously, I haven't read the whole paper. I'm not a scientist and wouldn't understand some of what's being said in there. I can see, though, that they're making an assumption about temperature and humidity of storage of the shroud, which doesn't seem to bear necessarily to be completely justified. I mean, an average temperature of 22.2 degrees centigrade. If you think that's an average temperature in Europe in the last 1,000 years, I'm not even sure that you're talking about the same language that I am.
No, there are other lines.
Maybe if you're in Egypt or something, but not in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, there are other lines of evidence which put in doubt at least the test of radiocarbon dating. Like they think that it was actually a fixed part of the shroud which was tested. As I said, there is so much information. You should actually study the whole thing to come to an informed conclusion.
Well, no, I'm just picking up on some of the points they've made here. They're estimating the average temperature of storage of the Shroud of Turin is 22.5 degrees centigrade, and that in Europe is just an unrealistic expectation and an unrealistic, approximation to make, and to base a study on like this, and to call it scientific with an estimation like that just seems to me fallacious on the face of it.
Okay, sure.
And certainly it's not my experience, having lived in Europe all my life, you know, or virtually all my life.
Yeah,
I
I
asked
lived
that
in
Dan
Switzerland
Wow, a blast
for
from the past.
a long
Skylar
time.
fiction.
And
Yeah, if we
quite
can,
cold there.
just like, shh.
Yeah.
Skylar has
shit.
just joined, you know. All praise Raptor Jesus. All right.
What's
Look
up,
at
yo?
that.
I just don't want to interrupt your conversation or anything. I saw everybody on here and I was like, hey, I can join right now and say hello. It's been a
Look
while.
at that beard. What have
I
you
was just
been
gonna
eating?
say, yeah, Skylar, it's been a while since we've talked. Do you remember
Huh?
interacting with me before? Was a while ago, so if you don't, it's fine.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't go by Stephen Ryan, though, was it? Did you have a different name or something?
Yeah,
Cider
it was
and
Cider
Rib.
and Pour. That's the name of my channel. But like when I'm kind of on my channel, I'll kind of introduce myself as Stephen Ryan. So yeah.
Oh,
Stephen,
okay.
you
Religion is
recognize-
bullshit. You may have known him as religion is bullshit.
See, look, I've
Yeah.
gone by an awful lot of monikers. I've settled on this one. Can we just move on?
You just want to make it all about
And the
you,
hairstyle
Stephen.
is different. The hairstyle is different.
And the
so we
hairstyle.
wouldn't
I
recognize
well, I far less hair now. So there's that. But
So can I ask Atangelo something real quick? And it's nothing to do with what we've been talking about. What's the deal with Titan Uranus? What is your disagreement with him?
boy.
Oh, well, we all know what the disagreement is with that.
Yeah.
I
I
don't.
don't.
I feel
That's
like I'm
my
out of the loop here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What the
I feel
fuck?
like I'm out of the loop here. I feel like everybody else knows what the inside joke
Untangelo
is,
did
I'm
a
just standing
thing.
awkwardly in the
Untangelo did
corner.
a thing that is barely forgivable at all. But it's been a while. We're not going to go into it. He did a thing.
Okay.
It's disgusting and disgraceful, but he did release a video quite recently. I don't want a fucking topic on it. He's fucking here now talking about the Shroud of Turin, you know?
I think
Okay.
we finished with the shroud, you know.
Yeah.
How are
I
you?
really
Finished
do.
it like half an hour ago.
We
I want to
could-
talk about the napkin of Naples.
the napkin of Naples. Okay, go with the napkin of Naples.
Yeah, it's the cloth from the Jesus's last masturbation.
Ah.
Wow.
Can we DNA test that and look for descendants of Jesus?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously it's not.
No, they already
testable.
found. No, remember that Dan Brown book? They already found the descendant of Jesus.
Okay.
Ah. It was in Scotland, wasn't it?
I saw that documentary.
I think it was in France.
I think it was on Pornhub.
Yo, MathPig, you might actually appreciate this. You're Scottish, right? If I am correct.
I am of Scottish. I am what's
Listen,
God.
I know
Skylar.
I am what's known as an Ulster Scot. I am a Protestant in Northern Ireland. I would consider myself Northern Irish, but technically I'm an Ulster Scot.
You're going to love this thing because I did a DNA test recently.
Ah.
I want you to understand that I've almost been lied to my whole entire life, apparently. Right? I was from the impression that I was going to be almost like 90% Irish, basically. Yeah, it ended up being 90, almost like 80% Scottish there. And then the parts of Ireland that I'm from was like, was it Dungan Island or Dongan Island? And like 8%. My mom's whole side of the family is like Irish, and somehow I ended up being like mostly Scottish in my descent.
Well, you see, they did send the Scottish over to breed the Irish out. So,
yeah, see, that makes sense. That's probably why.
so there is that genetic line there, even
Yeah.
though you may have the Scottish or you may have the Irish name. You see, that's what a lot of people do is they track their name, but they're just, you always take on the name of over here. You would take on the name of the man over there, and all. And you're chasing the man, Where if you do a DNA test, most of it is mitochondrial, which would be mostly female DNA, your mother's DNA. So it's your genetics can give you a different sort of report than the name and stuff. But yeah. Half Irish, half Scottish. Yo.
I love it. Well, and I was trying to get over there to you guys this summer. I was like, if I get over to Europe, I was going to go to Italy. I was hoping to go to, and I was hoping to go to Switzerland and maybe Amsterdam. But man, just everything's too expensive. Like all the prices, it's like crazy.
Oh, hello, Bree.
Hey,
Unfortunately, I
we had
can't.
plans to go to Greece in 2020, and those got canceled, and I haven't been anywhere since. That was my vacation in 2020.
I can't see Bree, and I can't see, and the actual audience can't see Bree because you're the unlucky 10 that ruins my 3x3 square that makes it beautiful on my screen. So I do apologize for that, Bree. I know you're there.
Well, I'm going to duck out now in a minute because the Bratto is waking up. But I did want to say just on what Skylar was saying, my son is half Irish, half Scottish, so I can't really slag off the Scottish. Well, I can. It's fun. But
it is, yeah.
If you can't remember, if you can't get them out, you breed them out.
Yeah.
True.
My wee girl's a
force them
mongrel
out.
too. She's half Catholic, half Protestant. Although I did give in to her mother. We ticked Catholic on the birth certificate.
Nice. Well, I'm
think we
going
do
to
that,
jump
no.
off and I'll make space for Bree, and I'm happy to make space for Bree. So
Thank you, Keela.
hi
Love
Bree,
you.
and congratulations
Thank
on
you.
your move. Congratulations on the move.
Yeah, this is the new place.
Moving sucks.
It does,
Wow.
and best of luck. I will talk to you in the side.
Yeah, tell me
Farewell.
about it, Jay. Like I just recently moved.
Take care,
Bye.
Keela.
Keela.
Take care. Right, I'll change my disgraceful avatar again now.
Yeah.
And saying that, nice guy.
I can't.
I just come
even
back
make
from
up what that
spending
is.
a week in Kong. I don't
Two
know.
shrouds in bed.
No,
I
it's,
don't know
it's the Shroud of Turin bedspread.
Yeah, yeah.
So Skylar, it's a
I
time
have the
that I don't
drinks.
see your funny live streams. What happened?
No, I do a lot of TikTok stuff now. Actually, I've just been going on TikTok and doing a little bit. And I've been writing a book. I've been doing things. This is just not. It's not worth my time anymore.
Feel free
like,
to
it's not
say
worth-
something in the chat, man. I'll mod you if you're not modded, and you can link your TikTok if you want. Like,
Oh yeah, I'll put it over there. You just if anybody types Skylar Fiction, you'll find it on TikTok. But no, I mean I've gotten to where I can do live shows now on TikTok, but it's kind of like it's an ugly monster TikTok, a really
Wow.
ugly monster of bad ideas and
And you
bad
think-
arguments.
You think you're moving to China or?
No, I don't think I'm. I do. I will say that people should be very cautious about TikTok and how they use it and what's being fed to them through the algorithms.
would I be right in saying that I heard someone on Linus Tech Tips mention that they would do TikTok as well as YouTube? He had them with a computer setup or whatever. All that doesn't matter. They said that when they do live streams on TikTok, TikTok takes upwards of 80% of the live stream.
Jesus.
And that's even if you can get to
Yeah,
money and making money off of it. Like, I don't know even when that's.
Was that the
I'm-
Linus Tech Tips video, MathPig, that you're talking about?
It's a Linus Tech Tips video, and he had some
he
girl
did
like.
it. He renovated Call Me Chris's stream setup thingy, and yeah, she dropped that absolute fucking bombshell. I remember hearing that, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? They literally, it's like. I think she said 80, but she might have said upwards of 80 as well. But it was at minimum 80%. So
Yeah.
if you donate $10 when she gets 2 of that, which is just insane. You
That
need
is, yeah.
serious fucking donations to be able to make any sort of a living off of it.
Yeah.
We thought YouTube was bad. They only take
so-
fucking, what is it,
30.
30%?
30%.
30, yeah, that's
I'm still a little dubious about Skylar being on TikTok. Can you show us
Yeah.
one of your dances?
I don't think I have any dances on TikTok.
Yeah.
Most of my stuff's
Skylar
political stuff.
Fiction.
It's actually politics, not religion, very much anymore. So,
Hey,
most of
Skylar,
it-
did you? Skylar, I gotta get with you sometime and get the link to your music video with Gavin Herleman in it.
Oh, hold on. I'll put it in the side chat. I think it's called Gavin No Pants. Is what it's called. Hold on, Gavin No Pants. That one. The problem with some of these videos, that one's here. I got it right here. It's public. The thing, I don't want to play the music. What am I doing here? The issue is since it's a copyrighted song, it doesn't. I don't know. YouTube doesn't play it as much, or it kind of hides it or something. Here we go. There it is in the side chat. If you have the link now, you can check that. Anyways, yeah. I mean, well, the thing about TikTok is first of all, everyone's terrible at arguing. Everybody. It doesn't matter what. You could be Christian, atheist, Muslim, left, right. They're awful. It's like a bunch of young kids that don't understand logic and reason and everything.
Because they only have a minute, 5 minutes? What's your limit in TikTok to learn?
Oh yeah, now it's up to
now it's 10.
10.
Now it's 10 minutes.
But you ain't gonna get you're not gonna get play with 10 minutes. You're not gonna get in the cycle. 15 seconds is their sweet spot. So like with me, I just start just making political comments, like joking about Trump or making fun of something. And then it's just the politics stuff, people eat it up. They eat up the nastiness and the stuff. I don't want to do that. I like the talking and conversations, but it's no better than YouTube. But YouTube seems like it's dying. I don't feel like I don't know, maybe I'm just not on here enough.
So I went on TikTok once, right? So, and I said, let me check what the fuck is it. And the first video I saw was from a chick, I can't even remember her name, which she was adamant that the Roman Empire never existed. That was enough. That to me was enough. I'd rather fuck a sandy vagina rather than go on TikTok right now. So yeah, that's it. That make it for. And thank God that was the first one I met, because that was just okay. Yeah, okay.
You're talking about a high mark right there. That girl. She was on YouTube for a while, but sadly, YouTube just got rid of her.
Yeah.
See? So yeah.
It depends what you're saying though.
So I am the fuck out of here. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
It depends what you're saying though, Skylar, as in dying, right? Like I've had, the last 6 months, 7 months haven't been fantastic. I'm trying to get back into this and having the panels. I've had the pleasure of Fabio and Simos and the distaste of Jay. And we'll not even talk about Ontangelo. But I'm still... Fuck you all.
I can't. We know that. Yeah.
Not to talk numbers.
I'm really hurt.
Team J all the way. You remembered my schedule where Jeff didn't. All right, always Team J. It depends what you're after, so to speak. Is it the attention and people looking at you? Is it the conversations and stuff like that? I think from a talking point of view and the conversations point of view, we're ignoring the basement and Jay and his fucking praise and asshole 104 drama. But having a conversation is about the people on the panel, so it doesn't really, not to dismiss the live chat or anything, but this conversation will happen regardless of one person watching or 20 people watching. I think the TikTok, I don't want to, I'm not on TikTok, so it's a biased point of view, but I would say it's very childlike as you, very uneducated. It's a new platform, so the people that you're interacting with are all new. They haven't went through the process. They haven't went through the talks and the conversations, and all that bullshit. And I'd say there's maybe 50 to 100 years worth of experience in online conversations on this panel.
I think you're right. No, I think you're dead on that. Like the idea of conversation, this is the place to do it. It's YouTube. I think they're trying to do it on TikTok, but I think it's just the age is too young.
Well, that's it.
And I think it's just not ready and mature enough for it. But here's the thing. I'll tell you. Here's the thing about TikTok. This is how you can have fun with TikTok. Okay, go on there and only like video stuff that you really, really like. Right, stuff that's humorous to you or entertaining, like those videos. But don't ever comment when you're upset. Don't comment on a video if you're upset. Don't react to a video negatively, because it will continue to. Yeah, baby, I got you. I got it. I plugged it. But you don't react to it, because then it will be like, you're watching that. You're frustrated with it. Let me give you another one of those videos.
So it's very forceful on the algorithm.
Yeah.
Matt, I can't hear
it's just about learning how to train the algorithm to be able to kind of feed you what you're telling it you like.
Yeah, like I would have sock accounts on YouTube, sock channels and stuff like that you only like videos of stuff that's distasteful to you, to get that sort of attention, so that they feed you new people. You don't want that on your main account,
Yeah, exactly. Steve,
right,
we did a debate on abortion, right?
Pardon?
That's what we debate. Okay, I was trying, like in my mind, I'm putting it back. What did I think we had a debate? And then I'm like, oh yeah, it was me and you were on top with Tom Jump on his team, I believe.
Yeah, and it was you and
I don't remember her name.
Kay Fellows.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. My mind just went to it. I was like, that's where.
No, you're good.
It's he's the second sexiest Irish man in the community. It's fine to forget him. No one ever remembers second place.
I am the sexiest Irish man in the community. You need to because but you're just disqualified.
Can we just clarify? Fake Ireland is still Ireland.
Fake Ireland, real Ireland.
Fake Ireland is still Ireland.
Well, you need to put the Mantini on, Stephen, and then we'll compare.
Yeah, you didn't see that, Skylar. You didn't see what these fuckers did for me for my birthday. Like there's the mankini. You
Well, I
know,
mean, it's not as if anybody put a gun to your head and forced you. You agreed to do it. So I mean, like, to be fair, like,
I look good.
you did agree to do it, like, so.
Now you're making me embarrassed. Or
And
embarrassed.
the mankini didn't embarrass you? This is the
Yeah,
obvious question.
just talking about it.
It shows off my
To
two
get
best
a video-
features, man. It shows off my two best features.
Okay, fair enough.
To get a video of me out in the mankini, someone's gonna have to put at least 1,000 into my bank account, and then I'll do it. But
When do you guys even
Okay.
go
Yeah,
to the
no,
beach living in
just-
Ireland and Scotland? Like,
Pardon, Skylar?
balls.
So if this video,
What did Sky- sorry, I didn't hear what
if this
Skylar
video
said.
gets 5,000 likes, I'm sending $1,000 to Stephen for a mankini video.
yeah, that's fine.
Start a Twitter
If I say
hashtag.
1,000, I will do it.
Twitter
I
hashtag.
will do it.
Skylar, what did you say?
Drag, I mean,
No, I was just saying
yeah.
that, like, when do you guys get time to wear mankinis or like or any type of swimsuit living in Scotland and Ireland?
Oh, the motherfuckers do it for my birthday. They send me an outfit out and I wear it on my birthday.
Have you not been to a football game over there? Because that's the
No.
standard. That's the standard uniform.
I've spent the last 2 days though, man, well, not in a mankini, but in a pair of shorts, just jumping into the loch. You know the big water in the middle of Northern Ireland? It's not too far from where I live, and me and the daughter I've been off for 2 weeks. We went to County Mayo for a week, and it's just like, I think the most beautiful place in the world. I thought Italy, Fabio, because we had to do the mountain route. You know, that it was like this to come back down, and it was as beautiful as that. It was just, the water was clear. I had my wee girl in the lake or in the river, and there was a salmon jumping behind her in the water. It's just.
Let me ask you: you guys are all living in Europe, 3 people at least. Well, I think Otangelo lives in Brazil. The rest of you 3 are from Europe. How often do you guys jump on a train and go to another country? to visit?
Cough, cough.
Oh, somebody
The
Yeah,
fact that we
okay,
live.
so-
right. We are on.
Simos is
I'm
not in Europe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
straight away.
I think
one
I
here
am,
in Europe.
Technically, I am the only European here.
No, Stephen.
No,
Stephen.
Stephen's in Europe.
Stephen's in Europe.
Oh, Stephen. Sorry. sorry about that.
I've got
It's
yo-yos.
fake Ireland that left. That's no.
No,
Right.
it's the
Ireland
good
is still in
Ireland.
Europe.
Because
Yeah, okay,
Brexit,
cool, yeah.
because Brexit has
Yeah,
now
the smart
kicked in,
ones.
right?
Yeah.
Because Brexit has now kicked in, I'm literally in limbo. All right, I'm technically part of Ireland, but I'm not part of the EU. Simos is
Yeah.
full blown fuck the EU, and Stephen is full blown fuck Britain. And I'm in Northern
MathPig.
Ireland, stuck in the middle, with no government for this last 110 days. Because
No,
the
no, no,
Catholics
no.
won over the Protestants and nobody agrees, and it's just, I'm stuck in the middle going.
That is the wrong explanation. So let me help you out, Skylar.
Sure.
Simos is the reason why is not anymore in Europe, and MathPig is the reason why there is so much problems around the fact that they cannot get out of Europe. Because here's the point. So that is
Because
the most
we're in the middle.
precise explanation that you can get.
Well, that's
But you
the
can
limbo was
visit each
causing
other's
problems.
Countries and like here's my thing. Like in the United States, all right, I'm in Florida. Right?
Yeah.
Cool city, cool state. You know, come a little wild, and
Which
crazy.
we
are.
don't. Not all of us in the United States claims Florida as being part of the United States, but
Florida
it is
man,
what it is.
Florida man is
Better
a
than-
dog.
People do not
better
represent
than
all
most
of us.
states. Better than a lot of states, entertainment-wise. Like things to do, beaches, Disney World.
Technically, Scaly, you're a Florida
Florida
man.
man.
Huh?
Technically, you're a Florida man.
I am a Florida man. I've been here long enough to be a Floridian. But like for us, right? The closest thing I get to nice in the United States is when I drive. Like it ain't the South because I mean, sure,
Yeah.
we have some places in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. The mountains are kind of beautiful, but it's country and conservative as all hell. Like when you get out there, it's like Trump fucking town where you're there. But like.
Right.
You go out west, but that's crazy far to go out west. Like you can't, it's not even cheap. But I hear you can jump on a train in Europe, like from like, I don't know, like Germany to Italy and pay
Yeah.
like less than $100.
Yeah, but that doesn't apply to Stephen. It doesn't apply to me, and it doesn't apply to Simos. Specifically, Simos gets ripped off on trains. Trains in English are mad. But in the Europe mainland,
Yeah.
you can buy a ticket for a couple of €100 and travel and back and forth. And yeah, you can do that in mainland Europe.
It's the dream. Like in America, our train system sucks. So there's no trains, right? We have a couple trains, but you ain't it sucks, and you're not going to get to really travel with it. You're going to pay more than you would an airplane ticket. And of course, I don't want to fly.
They don't go the right places. You can go from St. Louis to Dallas, but you can't go from Chicago to Dallas.
Yes, exactly. Like there's nothing from Florida to go directly out west. You'd have to go to Florida, I think like Georgia or maybe South Carolina, and then.
So I mean, it depends where you want to go. It might be a little bit more than $100. Like for example, from Milan to Paris by train is gonna be like 6 hours, but that's gonna be about 150, 180 euros, which is about $200.
Now, would everybody agree Paris is the worst city? Sorry.
Paris sucks. Yeah, Paris sucks.
That's what I hear. I've heard nothing but Paris is an awful place to go. Besides some of the history.
So let me tell you one thing about Paris. Okay. Paris is in France, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody hates the French. Now, the funny thing is that all the French hate the Parisians. So Paris is hated not only by the French, but because they are in Paris, but they hate by everybody else because they are in France. So it's a shithole. It's bad. But yeah.
That's probably like some of our cities over here.
Them shots that I just shared, Skyler, that's when me and my wee girl went on holiday for a week.
That was beautiful, those shots you put up, man.
That's Ireland. That's County Galway, County Mayo in Ireland. That's about 4 or 5 hours drive for me, which is nothing to an American, you know. But that's real Ireland rather than fake Ireland, you know. But
I would want to go to the even like Scotland too. I'd like to go to the country. Yeah, I want to go to the country. See all the mountains, the beautifulness.
Scotland's very mountainy and very, in certain parts it's wetter than Ireland, if that's even possible.
But a lot of things depends where you live. Like for example, if you live in the Netherlands, you can take the car and drive for 1 hour and probably cross 3 or 4 countries. You know, depending where you live. I mean, you can cross France, Belgium, maybe Germany, and then back to the Netherlands. So it really depends. But yeah, I mean, it's not far. I mean, from where I live, I can be in France in about depend how you go. I mean, if I go with the motorbike, I can be in France in about a couple of hours, 2 hours and a half.
Awesome, yeah.
With the car, it might be, 3.5, 4 hours. With the train, might be the same amount of time. So yeah.
How is the Ukraine war over there affecting you guys? Is it like, do you guys feel any of the effect besides obviously the economic?
It broke fucking £2 sterling for a fucking litre of fuel. A litre of diesel there not too long ago. It has recently started to drop, but
I mean, some prices have gone up. But it's really weird because it's spot, like for example, bread and gas, of course, and energy, So some prices have gone up, but other than that, I mean, me personally, I am super freaked out by the fact that they're fighting close to nuclear plants, and those are the biggest nuclear plants we have in Europe. That kind of freaks me the fuck out a little bit. But yeah.
Lurpak, if anyone has ever heard of Lurpak, it's just a basic butter over here. It's usually maybe $1.50 on offer, maybe $2.50.
Mm-hmm.
It broke £7 sterling, and people were putting security tags on it. Like that did quite affect us. If you love your Lurpak, you're fucked. Wherever the hell they get their stuff from, but it jumped massively.
That's how our food did here in the States too. We got a lot of food inflation pricing. Gas, of course, went up. But yeah, everything's just, our problem is our housing price. We have too much house, especially here in Florida. Everything's too expensive. It's too expensive for where you live. So that's where everything's getting eaten up. We don't have any
California.
Yeah, I'm going mad, bro. We're talking about a place where. Well, I mean, this is the thing. Is those people made a lot of money. Those folks who own those homes, that bought those homes in the 70s, 80s, maybe 90s.
Yeah.
Like, it's smarter than to. I know so many people who sold their house and just moved somewhere else.
Well,
like
I actually have a friend. A friend of mine is gonna. He should be around here next September, and he lives in San Francisco, and he owns the house. It's not a massive house, but it's still a house, right? I mean, it's in a good area, and he was thinking about retiring, selling the house, coming to Italy, buying a house, and not doing anything for the rest of his life, and he will do that.
That'd be awesome.
So, for example, the people that own the house that my wife and I rent, they bought this during the recession, or like as the recession was going on, like 2011. They bought this home as a foreclosure. It was $140,000. This home right now on the market goes for almost $500,000.
Yeah.
That's so much. Yeah, that's what we did. I did well in Florida with our first house we owned, where we bought it for like under 100,000, 90,000. We sold it for like 240, almost double well over double the price. But we bought it right when the economy crashed. Right after the economy crashed in 2008, the house and market went down. It was bank owned. I bought it, and then I'm stuck. I'm stuck in this bad position now because I have to sell the house I'm in, which is amazing. I love. But the wife and I split up, so this house has to go half to her, and this house is paid off. I don't owe anything. So now the problem is I might have like this house we bought for $240 is now going for $400,000 in the area I'm in. Right?
Yeah, but the problem is you've got to buy something.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's where you're. So like, I'll have $200,000. I don't want to put I'm never going to go into debt again. So, like, if I got to buy a trailer or I got to buy a house, the thing is, you can get a house where up on North Florida for like $150,000. If you $175,000 somewhere in there. It's not the nicest area. Daytona Beach ain't the best area in the world, right? But you can live near the beach. You can have enjoy the beach and stuff. And it's not like any like Compton or something. Like it's these cities, unless you're living in like Miami or maybe Jacksonville. Like, these cities really aren't that rough down here.
Okay. Stephen, before you go, any last comments about the Shroud at all?
Oh, Simon, why don't you fuck off?
Okay.
I'm not going to indulge.
Hey,
I'm not going to indulge. I could, but I'm not going to indulge.
Hey, Jesus didn't have long hair. Come on.
Jesus didn't have. The other thing Darth said was about the face cloth. Now, I thought that was quite interesting myself. But anyway, Stephen,
did I ask Jay a question? Say thank you to Stephen. I want to ask Jay a question as well.
Just thank you.
Let
Simon
finish.
I'm gonna.
Ciao, Stephen.
I'm gonna bounce out, guys. Cheers for the conversation, and we'll talk to us all soon.
See you, Stephen.
Thank you.
Ciao, Stephen. Ciao.
Bye, Stephen.
Well, let Simon sounded like he wanted to say something. So before.
No, I just wanted to get Stephen in because I noticed he put something in. He was going, so I didn't want to,
Oh, belabor. Got it.
Belabor. Oh, take too long to say something to him. So, anyway, there you go. Go ahead, Joe. I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Oh, MathPig's got to give me the question.
I forgot to tell you something this morning, Jay. I don't know. I doubt very technical channel, but there was a guy in California. Took all his excess stock and did a pop-up shop where everything was going for. You have the banter with him, you get it for next to nothing.
Wait, this guy was doing Funko Pops?
He's been running a YouTube channel for about 10 years and was getting rid of all his excess stock that's lying there. And all for next to nothing.
What sort of stock do you need? What, like PCs and
everything from the only thing you couldn't buy was storage. He'd no hard drives. He had graphics cards. He had motherboards. He had cases.
That stuff.
Oh, that shit.
Yeah. No, that's Southern California. That's part of the greater Los Angeles area.
Well, hang on. I mean, the 4000 series is going to be out soon, so graphics
Mine
cards
will
are
be
going to
another
be
country.
graphics cards are going to be quite cheap all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else noticed how well Bree's looking tonight, or is it just me? No.
Say what?
Nothing. Bree's looking very well, and she runs away. Look, she runs away. She runs away. It's like, oh shit.
Noisy every time I come on here. Yeah. Yes, I'm prettier now without all the beard and stuff. So yeah.
How is the new place?
Well, I don't have much stuff in here yet. Much like Skylar, I'm going through a separation with my wife too. So this is my new place, and getting my stuff back from over there is going to be a work in progress.
Did you and your son, the two of you,
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Is he was playing.
Oh, he was playing with robots. That's all
We
I
get
got.
the. Yeah, well, yeah, no, I was getting choppy. I went off camera. I'm on the neighbor's Wi-Fi right now. He was nice enough to let me use it. But he had a gig to play up in Iowa tonight, so he got to have the whole weekend off while I moved everything by myself.
Ah, but you're moving in with him, yeah.
Yeah. 2-bedroom. Not too bad. Got a screened-in porch. I'll place butterflies out there if y'all want to come watch that. Did you see my baby spiders?
I did pop in for a wee while. I was there for about 10 minutes, but I got all of about 10 minutes, and then Elena climbed all over the fucking top of me. You know what it's like? There's a skull. I think it is fantastic that you bought them a skull to make webs in. That's just like...
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm one of these people. I'm one of these people that just voluntarily has spiders in their home. I don't do that. I don't mind spiders when they're outside of my home. When they come into my home, that's when I start to have an objection.
I have big ass spider in the kitchen and a big ass spider in my bedroom up in the top corner. This time of year, they keep the flies down, man.
I love spiders. I have a whole closet full of spiders over there.
The dog
out of the closet, I have room to keep stuff in there.
I'm a spider.
The dog chased one across the living room yesterday about that size. And it was like going left and going right, and I was just watching Pot, and then he ended up gobbling it up. But yeah.
Yeah, I found out here in California we have a bold-faced jumping spiders. Those things are pretty cool. However, they're not the most welcoming to see if you're not familiar with seeing them in the live for the first time. And he's bigger around. It's about, well, I would say it's probably. With the female, do the females get bigger than the males?
They have a bigger abdomen. The males have a small abdomen in relation to their cephalothorax, which is the fused head and thorax of
maybe this was just a large male then, because he was pretty even sized, but he was bigger around than a quarter. And
yeah, they get like the bold jumping spiders get as big as like an acorn. They get big out there.
Yeah, because this one was all black with a little bit of white, but it had the translucent, almost like not translucent. They're what is that? They almost look like they look like their little mandibles there look like they belong at a rave.
Yeah, they're just like
they're
neon,
like a mix. Right? Yeah, they're neon chartreuse. Yeah, they're really.
They got a metallic sheen to them when light hits them to make them glow like light up green. Yeah, they're so pretty.
I didn't kill.
Australia has the lockdown on the most beautiful jumping spiders though.
Well, I made sure to not kill this one. It wasn't actually his fault that he was in here because my wife brought in one of her big flower pots, and I think his home was in that big flower pot. And so he was going after... If he's living
in there, it means that there's probably fruit flies somewhere, or fruit flies, fungus flies, drain flies, something like that that's attracting them. That's what they generally target and eat. So
yeah, it was ants.
Having one in your house crawling around in your ceilings is considered a blessing because they're there controlling that issue that you already have going on.
In this particular case, it was the ants that were also in the flower pot because they started to infest the house.
Yeah.
I was like, where are all these ants coming in at? And then I look and I see this big old flower pot, and then where the flower pot is, I can see the ants coming out of it, and there's this big ass jumping spider right above it.
Poor Skylar's just sitting there going, I'm ready to punch, I'm fucking spider.
No.
No. Fucking...
I'm not here to control any conversation.
No, I can tell that you don't like spiders. I can tell you don't like spiders.
No.
I bring bug conversations, Skylar. I don't know what to tell you. That's what I do.
Like I said,
Elena brought home bark from where we went camping and turned a sweetie pot into an insect trap. And then we got her a packet of Pringles. You know the wee small Pringles ones? They're like wee £1 ones. She got one of them the other day, and she filled it with trees and leaves, and not a whole tree, obviously. I mean leaves and grass and stuff. And she has that set up as a bug trap in the front garden. She loves her bugs. Doesn't care. Goes straight in, lifts them with her fingers, and she's very good to the point where she can lift and is aware enough, like, you know, she doesn't go, oh shit, I squished it. You know, she can lift it up and set it down. She's very good, yeah.
Yeah, I've been bit. I'm pretty good when it comes to spiders, and might think I shouldn't be if you knew how many times I've been bit by spiders. Like in North Carolina, I got bit once by a spider, or at least they assumed it was a spider bite. I had to have a tetanus shot for it. It was so bad. So,
I don't know. I don't know if you know anything about mechanics or whatever. The 2 front bearings in my car are gone, and I have the same model car, but it's laying at the bottom of the yard. And if anyone knows or follows the channel, we keep bees at my mum's house, 30 plus hives, and the car is maybe 20 foot from these, and it was 28 degrees over here the other day, and I needed to take the hubs off the car. We had to fucking lift that bastard and break the brakes off and get the digger and pull the fucker halfway up the yard, and that was easier than taking the hubs off 15 foot from the beehives. My dad got stung in the eyelid in about 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right, just flew straight in and just stung him straight in the eyelid. So he wasn't happy. He was like, no, there's the rope. I'm getting in the digger. We're just going to pull this fucker up the yard. Now we're rambling.
I had a spider bite me once, like when I was like a teenager, right on the face. Like, and then I found that spider on the wall that next day. Yes, son. Yeah, go ahead. So, yes, go ahead, sweetheart. One kid has it. Yeah, yes, so, there I was, teenager. I wake up. My face has 2 little bite marks right on my face, right? And I see this spider on my wall. Right, and I just think of the audacity of the spider to hang around still, right? To be on my wall after crawling on my face in my sleep, like that's like I could have lived with that spider in my house, but he crossed the line. He came over to my face and he bit hard, and I found him and I put that bastard in a jar with some bleach and watched him die. I'm not gonna lie to you, I caught that fucking bastard. Listen, I was a young teenager. I wouldn't do that now. Not that I care that much.
Why didn't you bite his face?
I would. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Bastard
I wanted
bit
it to die slowly when I watched it. I was like,
All I
die
know-
slowly for crawling on me.
If there is such a thing as, I mean, the stuff that I've done to bugs in North Carolina to keep them away from my house and out of my house, it would make Hitler cry.
Diatomaceous earth, was it? We talked about this before.
Oh, I
Jay.
use cyphlothrin, bifenthrin, diatomaceous earth.
You love your chemicals.
Oh yeah, I used cyphlothrin, which was time release for the front of the house. Then I used bifenthrin on areas around the property and on the other areas of the house. And then I used diatomaceous earth around sensitive areas where the dogs went. And
a lot of bugs in the south down here.
Can I just point something out? That I think this is the longest that Skylar and Otangelo have been on a screen together and have not been.
That's because Otangelo hasn't talked. He knows better.
I like Otangelo. He's actually got a good sense of humor. The more I've gotten to know him, the more I appreciate Otangelo.
I don't want to say best of a
understand him
bad
at
bunch, but you have some bad company on Tangelo.
He's got to have a good sense of humor with some of those arguments.
But man, it's what it is. I don't know. My thing about arguing religion now, I just don't want to work myself up anymore. I get so frustrated.
On that note,
glad to hear that.
Right? On that
I'm
note.
so glad to hear that, Skylar. I really am. Because the only thing I've ever thought was, yeah, but why does he get so emotionally invested in this? I understand it was highly entertaining. I say was because we're not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Highly entertaining, and your debates always had a bit of zizz with them.
Yeah.
Whereas most people's tended to be a bit dry. But I always used to think, why?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
On that topic, as Skylar has just mentioned,
if you send me a picture, Skylar, I will send you the membership card of that club. Because I think there is a lot of people in that club.
It's massive, man. Like, there's something that me and Simos have been talking about, and all going well. I've just said hello all in the chat. It's a channel called In My Opinion. I will post the link to it. It's something that I want to do. It's a new channel that I've just created. There's fuck all content on it, but subscribe for the crack. And we're hoping to have topical conversations and shit. No God. God's banned. All religion is banned.
What? You didn't tell me this.
No. Well, it's not going to be
Simus is
like
out.
that.
Simus is out. So
But it's not going to be based on that. We have the topical conversations here, and we have Ontangelo in and stuff like that. But I'm trying to be more.
You're tying my hands, MathPig.
MathPig, I can't come on
I'll
if
be
it's
right
not
back.
God, can I?
Oh boy!
Can I?
Oh boy!
You can.
One of my definitions, dude.
Oh no! Yes, that is why.
5'8",
For
plays mean guitar, hung like a horse.
yes, if anyone
Named
does
Simos. That's my definition of God.
apostrophe Simos in the chat, the bot is working. It will just come back with girth, because the definition of a god is Simos.
This just got dark. This is
I had a debate.
weird.
I had a debate with Ultimated Christian, and
Would
just to
Skylar have
wind
dealt
him
with
up.
him? I think Skylar probably would
Yeah,
have dealt with him.
Skylar's had a
Have
debate
I?
with him.
He
was
went under a
called,
different name.
Biblically for the win at the time he debated him, I think.
Biblically,
You know,
he's Australian.
It's so funny. It's like I've talked to so many people on this channel now at this point. Like I don't even like. I've talked, like,
he
it
says
used to be just more conversational. Then it just got,
Particulars.
He says
Particulars.
biblically quite. His mannerisms
Oh,
are
that
funnier
sounds
than
familiar.
praise. He argued.
Oh,
with,
is he the Calvinist? Is he the
yep,
Calvinist
yep,
dude?
yep, yep.
Yeah, I found he was on. He's also on what's it called, that the app everybody uses, Discord. That people use.
He's suffering from a post DMT
Clubhouse.
stress.
He's on Clubhouse.
Was his name Will or something? Will or
No, it's
Aaron? No.
Oh,
Is it Aaron?
oh, fuck me!
No,
I've lost
it's not
it.
Cameron.
Aaron, I said.
Aaron, no,
No,
it's
not Aaron. No, not Aaron.
There's
No.
3 of them, and it's not one of them.
Do you know? But his accent is so familiar because there used to be a guy in the community called MMA. Did anybody remember MMA?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And
MMA.
he always reminds me of him, and I was like, this is the same guy, isn't it? But maybe it's not. I don't know.
Because he biblically, but in the
Biblically.
particulars.
And this guy MMA, he always, when you were debating him, he would literally Google the information and then just start reading from Google.
I had his name.
And it was amazing because you could Google the information and then know what he was going to say. Exactly. It was hilarious.
Wow.
Oh, it's...
I had
I
his
talked
name
with
in
a
the
guy
fucking
today
title.
that was Muslim, that used to be part of the Atheist Network, the Atheist
Khalil.
Alliance.
Khalil.
Yes,
Khalil
that's
Ali.
it. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I had about an hour conversation, which is the longest conversation I've had on TikTok that I've lasted without being kicked from the room. Which is saying,
That's where he went. Okay.
yeah. So, well, it's partly my problem too because I'm terrible at interrupting people. Like, I get frustrated because what I hear is, like, it's like you can tell me in 2 or 3 words what I already know what you're gonna say most of the time. Like, I've heard the argument so much, but then, like, so if I stop people and they get really frustrated when I ask them to clarify things, and it gets on people's nerves, and I get antagonistic too because then I'm like, I just get frustrated. But he was obnoxious. Oh my Lord, was he obnoxious?
Yeah.
He thinks he's a genius now. Now he thinks he knows it all. I'm
He's
like arguing
Isn't
for
he also
Islam.
in trouble for some
Yep.
diddling?
Yeah, he still streams weekly on YouTube, holds open panels and stuff. He's still on YouTube.
Whoa. Go back that step before what we just said.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Are we talking like the other dude?
Ed Waha.
Yeah.
Ed
We
Waha,
are.
whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, and he's asking his supporters to pay for his court funds, which is really good. Like.
Maybe you took the guy I talked to. You said
The Muslim. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
He's
now a
the
Muslim.
atheist, now Muslim. Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah, that makes a lot of sense now. That puts pieces together. That makes
And leave.
Yeah,
leave
he's
it with
divorced.
Bring
He's
up the
he's
gossip.
divorced from the wife and found himself a nice new Muslim wife, and then yeah.
This makes a lot of sense.
No.
He got really offended when I brought up Muhammad marrying a young girl. Like he flipped out. And then what was funny is he's like, no, it wasn't young, it wasn't young, it'd been 17. Another Muslim came in the room from Africa and was like, no, this is what the Quran says. She was 7. And like, he just jetted. He just left the room like instantly, and I was dying. But yeah, no, thank you, Islam. No, thank you to any of this stuff.
Well, no, thank you, Khalil, as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
He thinks he knows philosophy as well, which is
That's
even
what
worse.
it is.
It's hilarious what he thinks he knows.
Absolutely.
He called me out one time on Rage's channel. He was like, "You're just picking on me because I'm a Muslim." I was like, "No, you were a fucking asshole before you were a Muslim. You're still a fucking asshole."
Yeah.
You were an asshole when you were an atheist.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I fucked him off. He's like, "Oh, you're picking on me because I'm a Muslim." I was like, "No, you were a fucking asshole before. You're a fucking asshole now."
Yeah, I mean, actually, that's an interesting question for Skyler. Actually, I feel, because you've been around the community a lot longer than I have, for sure. People that say, "Oh, I used to be an atheist," how do you read that? What do you think that means when somebody says, "Yeah, look, I know your viewpoint because I used to be an atheist"?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're just saying. It was just the same idea. It's just like, hey, I know. It would be like, I mean, it's the equivalent of me saying, hey, I used to be a Christian. I know how Christians think. I know how this works. It's just like another way of saying, you know, I used to be like this. I understand it. I mean, they're doing it in a way. I think it's a little bit of talking down when you say something like that, but I think that's what they're getting at typically.
No, but you're right. That's a very interesting point. I mean, the fact that you said, you know, it's like the people who said, oh yeah, I used to be a Christian, now I'm an atheist. You know, it's just it to me it's just a cheap shot, you know, to kind of win an argument. You know, like you know, telling you, oh, I know what you've been through, but you know, now I grew up and now I'm in a better state of, you know, affairs and stuff like that, which is. Yeah, come on, man. I mean, we should, unless you are a fucking plant in a pot, you change your mind, you know, how many times in your life.
Absolutely.
So that doesn't, and sometimes you go back, swing back and forth, you know, it's highly contextual. So, yeah.
But I still don't, you know, I can understand the, you know, becoming an atheist, right, or losing belief, right? But gaining belief, I still find a little bit tricky. Now, I've never been a Christian, right? I've never been a religious person. And so therefore I find obviously my bias is, you know, I don't have a concept of what it's like to believe in a supernatural deity, which is, you know, which is some kind of comfort. But I don't understand it because like I have a reason why I'm an atheist.
Well, I'm not really so sure about it. You know, I mean, so it might not be the case for you, right? You know, but I've heard a lot of stories of people, you know, that were atheists become Christian or vice versa, especially vice versa, you know, Christian becoming, you know, believers becoming atheists, that they describe the process as some sort of enlightenment from their side, which I'm fine, by the way, you know. Sure. I mean, I just think, you know, everybody's has to have a reason which is good for them, so...
Yeah,
and the reason might be stupid, so I'm not judging the reason.
Can I just ask? Can I interrupt you? Sorry, Otangelo's leaving. But before you go, Otangelo, I'd like to ask you: have you ever been an atheist? Have you identified as
in
an
my
atheist?
childhood? In my childhood, I had a time where I didn't have any interest in God whatsoever. Yes.
Right, so when you say no interest in God, that sounds like an agnostic to me, but what did you have a reason why you didn't believe? Did you think God didn't exist?
Well, the thing is, when I was 7, 8 years old, then my mother, prior to sleep, she was praying the Catholic Ave Maria, things like that with me, and I did my own prayers, and that worked for some time, and then when she stopped doing that with me, I also thought, well, I have no need for God anymore, and so I stopped doing that. And basically, until I was a teenager, I didn't take God seriously.
See, I had a similar experience to Otangelo. I grew up in a Catholic family, and they would bring us to Catholic church. And I mean, the thing is, when you're young, especially the rituals get in the way of. They're not really. Catholic Church isn't a very informative church. Like it's not like you don't do a big Bible study. It's more like you have the traditions you do and you get through it. And then you know when you don't go anymore, or your parents stop praying with you. It's like you tend to like you're just like, oh, I don't need this anymore. I don't want to do it. And I later on was the same thing. It wasn't until I became a Christian at one point. When I was around 18, and I think a lot of it had to do with my circumstances, because it was not a good time in my life. I was kind of like the Will Smith song back in the day, where I was hanging out with gang members, getting in a lot of trouble. I grew up in a really bad area of Florida when I was like young.
Yeah, Catholic. I thought you were going to say Catholic, but yeah, okay.
No, it wasn't any religion that was the problem where I was growing up. It wasn't conservatism. It was definitely like it was just a lot of fights and a lot of race stuff, a lot of race fighting going on. But when I started going to church, it was more I was inquisitive. I liked history. I liked philosophy. I liked talking about religion. And I started I started with different books, started going to church, started reading the Bible. And then it just starts to appeal to you, right? Because a lot of the stuff that, at least in non-denominational churches here in the United States, you don't go to like a particular like Baptist something. What they do is you do about an hour of worship. So like, you're singing, it's more modern rock music kind of, songs can be catchy, right? If you're having an emotional day or something's going wrong in your life or something's going good in your life, that emotion connects to that song, just like when you listen to any kind of music, right? You might listen to a sad song about a breakup, and you start thinking about old breakup of yours or a love or something. And you get emotionally now, it's not just an intellectual thing that church reading, it's now an emotional connection that comes along with it. And I think that's what people can, that's one way I think that it converts over.
That's indoctrination, though, right? What you and Angelo just basically said to me was, yeah, I was indoctrinated and I had an emotional attachment through my mother, right?
Well, I would say I indoctrinated myself more than they indoctrinated me, because they didn't. When we went to church, like we just talked about Jesus stuff, right?
Yeah,
and it was all
exactly
about how. But those things
the emotional
aren't bad
connection.
things, though.
Yeah, but the emotional connection is that they're taking you there.
Well,
it's not what. It's not the belief itself, right? Because the belief you're going to form yourself. It's the fact that you've got an authority figure saying that this is real to you.
Well, I don't think it was the authority figure aspect. That it was my own reading and studying. Like it was me who made those decisions. No, because I didn't start reading the Bible when I went to church. I was reading the Bible before church. I was already big time reading because it was interesting to me. I read other kinds of books like about it. No, I don't disagree with you that there's indoctrination. Obviously, people are indoctrinated, but I think it's more when people have like when they convert from atheism to Christianity. I can almost guarantee you most of the time it's some kind of emotional self-experience. Not that it's real, like a real spiritual connection.
No,
it's just they believe it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's a reason to believe for sure. I wouldn't. First person experience obviously is a reason to believe anything, and that's the problem with it. Okay. Yeah. That's that's why you need to question it.
Well, you trust your instincts sometimes. There's lots of times you use your instincts and you trust them.
Yeah, I mean it's part of human nature, that's what a lot of religions thrive on, so I mean again, it would be wrong for me to say that I totally see, everything wrong with that, because I think it's just who we are, right? Yeah. So we get attached to somebody for fuck up reasons sometimes, and then 100%. Later on, I listen.
100%. Love is blind, bro. Sometimes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So so it's for the same reason. If I introduce you to my wife, I tell you, she's the best woman ever in the world. You say, okay, I've met better. But to me, it's not.
No, it is the best woman in the world. Yeah, exactly.
Right, but to me, it's not. Yeah. And it's funny because sometimes when you get into the kind of conversation, nobody has trouble believing that. Yeah, for me it is not, while it for you it actually isn't. It might be even kind of a cunt. But say I mean I understand.
I don't know, man. No, your wife exists, right? I hate that analogy. When the Christians go, I love my wife on faith.
No.
Right?
We were talking.
No, you don't. Don't talk politics.
No, we're talking about getting attached to a feeling and a state of mind.
That's no problem.
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really. I mean, because it doesn't really matter. If it's a real person or not at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. No. I mean, I played music, right? So.
Right.
I mean, I'm emotionally attached to. That's how I was able to remember so much music.
Okay, so Sam. So explain this to me. There are some people I know for a fact. I met some of them, and it's weird, but they love mathematics. Now, how crazy is that? Right?
No, I'm guilty. Fair enough. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. But again, there's something like that. I mean, that love of mathematics, which I have, is algebra. Actually, is what I really love about mathematics. Mm-hmm. That's very similar to what Skylar was just describing, right? Like he was saying, like I picked up the Bible, I read the Bible, and there was something really interesting about this. There was a type of philosophical understanding, almost, right? Some kind of deductive kind of truth there, maybe.
Yeah, but now we're talking about the reason why you love that, and we get it, right?
Right.
But it's always personal, because I might be subjected to the same experience to algebra that you did, but I might just say fuck mathematics. So the reasons why you do that,
you can't.
Well,
right?
Well, no,
what I'm pointing out.
I can't fuck mathematics because it doesn't exist. Exactly. So yeah.
No. What I'm pointing out is two ways of thinking, right? There's this, like with mathematics, and especially like I'm saying, the algebraic side. That's a deductive way of thinking. All right, and that's what I love about it, because it trains my mind to do that. That's what I was relating to what Skylar was saying. Right? He was saying, look, I've read this Bible book and I found it fascinating. The stories had some resonance with me. Well, why did the stories have some resonance? Because, now looking in hindsight, maybe, Skylar, you would say that those stories aren't even very good.
Well, I
compared
would say,
to other stories.
I wouldn't say that. Well, I think the Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, most of the things Jesus said, I still agree with. Right?
Yeah, okay,
not when we get into the religious aspects of it.
They're not
but
original.
but they are very good at explaining how you should live your life, and that connected with me at that time, because I'm like, this is the moral values that I have. I agree with Jesus, and what I viewed it as is like, I didn't believe in the Old Testament as like literal or anything like that back in those days.
I get that, but again, there are better ways to express exactly those ideas. Stoicism, for instance, and Marcus Aurelius spoke. Right, that's a better read.
It wasn't available at the time.
I get that. I get that. It's the prevalence of that makes it so acceptable, which is why people just jump to it as an emotional thing when they're very young, right? Because they are given it by authority figures.
Well,
and that's my.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
No. I agree with you. I mean, the figures that they present you the argument or whatever, the topic, it's important. I will not deny that. I am struggling with the fact, when you said, a lot of mathematics, because, the logic concepts and stuff. Yeah, okay, I get it. But there was a moment where you started, reading about mathematics or history or whatever, that you were not at that point. So there was something which made you progress, and now I mean, so I might be using the wrong words, but it kind of looks like, what you said is like a kind of a post-hoc rationalization. Say, oh yeah, that's why I love mathematics, because now I understand it. It's really logical, and I like that, that framework. But when you began, you had no fucking idea. But still, you invested time, you invested effort, to go through it. And that point, this is where I'm talking about. This is the point where something clicks in your brain that makes you like the subject. Then eventually, you might find good reason why the subject is good. But most of the time, it's a post-hoc, rationalization of the thing, And again,
I'm still not. I agree. I agree that that's certainly the way we find our hobbies and etc. etc. I do think that there are certain subjects like maths and trigonometry which have a certain intuitional understanding, which is outside of language, and I don't think we're going to get to those things. Like just even basic arithmetic, it has the same properties that tensor calculus has, in the sense that it takes a long time to learn tensor calculus, but it doesn't take any time to learn arithmetic. There's an intuitional sense at which you can understand it. The same thing with trigonometry as well.
Right, but you get back to my example, that everybody should love my wife, right? Because I love it. I think it's the best one in the world. Everybody should love it. I can give you good reasons why, I love my wife. So, and I see why you shouldn't, but you don't. So, again, I think...
She loves you. There must be something functionally wrong with her.
yeah, maybe. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
No, I mean, again, I think, if I'm taking you, I just want to drill down on what Skylar said there, because I think that is the interesting thing to me, which is this book was presented to you, presumably at a young age. That sparked your imagination.
Wildheart, look at the live chat. Look at the private chat.
What are we reading? Sorry.
No, I'm just talking to Wild. You two talk away.
Right. Beg your pardon. Sorry. Yeah. So that sparks your imagination, and I assume that's what you're talking about then, Fabio, right? Something that sparks your imagination and gives you some reason to further investigate. Is that what you mean when you say?
Yeah, I mean there is that moment that is not even initial, but there is the beginning period where you are drawn towards a topic or a person or whatever, that for reasons that maybe they're not the ones that you would rationalize after a couple of years that you invested into the topic. So
good. Well, I'm glad Mr. Maute.
No, what was it? Sounded like the fucking the martial art. Maute.
I always think of like the Canadian. What is it? The Canadian Mounties when I hear the name.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
You're
I
muted.
did it. I said I related you to something that you're not.
I just, if I can
He's like,
say,
I'm not Canadian in any way.
for everybody that's jumped in and jumped out tonight and all the rest of it, loads of respect. But I am privileged to be in the panel with all the people who's on screen at the minute.
Thank you so much.
And you should be.
Well, no, that includes you, Simon. It's your faces.
I am not coming on screen. You have no idea. I look terrible right now.
We all seen you topless. We've all been there.
If I just put a picture of my nipple on the screen, will that do?
That's fine. That's fine. That's all I
Thank
need,
you
man.
so much.
That's all I need.
Yeah, respect to drag, by the way.
I don't know if that's what we want. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm not sure about it.
I feel like MathPig's talking for us all right now. I don't think we put this to a vote.
Overstep the mark. Overstep the mark. Marty, thank you very much for joining. I seen you in earlier. We were talking an awful lot. I'm sure you probably just joined, listened in.
Oh, Tank. What's his name?
That particular person. Oh, you scared Skylar off.
What is going on? I just don't understand.
That particular person.
I'm the nicest guy on the internet.
There we go.
Angelo, yeah.
Did you want
to? You guys hear my wife?
No.
Less of that cult shit.
I am the nicest man on the internet.
You're a cunt. She's right. She's right.
This is bullshit.
She's totally right.
Skylar has just no idea what's going on. Marty, thank you very much for
I know
coming.
Marty well. We know each other.
Good.
And he is the, I believe, husband of the second best deist that was ever on Google Plus.
Second best.
The real
Shots
deist.
fired.
Second best.
The real deist.
Shots fired.
Oh,
Jesus.
Marty,
Jesus
I'm doing this
Christ,
for you, man. I'm doing this for you. And then we just put Skylar backstage. There you go. That's his punishment.
There we go. Hunted.
I like all the plant life behind you, Malty. I like that you have we have drawn trees and we have real plants also. So
I can't get enough. There's plenty of real plants, but I need them painted on the wall.
you need that extra step. It's just to make it that full scenario
I need
here.
Unique biological.
Oh, cause mate.
Tyler, he's the original deist. You remember?
You know, don't fake the funk. You know,
don't fake it. You know what's up. He was the original on the scene, and then he became an atheist, and then he became Christian, and then he became an atheist, and then he's a deist, and then what are you now?
Well, no, it was not. There wasn't a Christian.
That was actually a question.
It went deist, agnostic, pantheist. Deist, agnostic, pantheist. Deist and pantheist were almost there.
So that's actually something somebody asked in the chat maybe 10 minutes
He said
after
that
you
you're
joined
just
in
like an
Skylar.
atheist.
Was what is your religious status now?
I don't know. I consider myself pantheist, I guess. So I don't take it too seriously.
He said that deism is pantheism.
It's close. It's close.
Yeah.
There's pandeism, like the pantheistic deism.
Pandeism.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what deism means anymore.
Panendeist. She threw an extra syllable in there. Panendeist.
I think that's the third one. Well, there's deist, isn't there? Is it panendeist? And there's maybe one other one.
Panentheist is another one.
Yeah. Who's got time for labels though, Mountie? Who's got time?
Oh, I know a guy. I know a guy with time for labels. I know a guy.
Right, we're not even going to talk about that guy, all right? That guy's a fucking...
Hey, listen, man, Skylar...
Oh, look, his internet broke.
Oh my God! You're breaking up.
Skylar asked a question.
I can only hear 25% of what's coming in, Fabio.
I was just being polite. There you go.
We don't want to have a debate over the.
Someone did ask me in the
No,
chat.
but I mean, you asked. I know a guy. That's all I said.
There is a person. There's a person in the chat whose name I'm not even going to pronounce. Okay, let me see.
I have a Venn diagram about that.
Right. How do you pronounce that name?
Is it a peer-reviewed Venn diagram?
Yeah.
I don't know how you can pronounce that name. If anyone wants to take an attempt at pronouncing that name,
it's funny.
Is it Udaf?
What are you talking about?
They're asking about labels, and I'm trying to say something nice about Skylar seeing.
Oh, I see.
Right, so shush a minute. And the whole idea of the T-shirt and all, you know.
Oh, he does have the Raptor Jesus shirt on. That is fantastic. Did I not even see that earlier? That's awesome. Oh man, I love that. Thank you.
Someone asked me earlier.
Someone run into somebody in public wearing one, I would go crazy.
That particular person asked me, "Do I tutor math?" Right, and I was like, "No, more of a love of physics." The name came from, you know, it's sort of half down to Skylar. It was a longer name because I don't like labels, so I created my own. And then it was too goddamn fucking long, and everyone complained, so we shortened it. And this fucker shouted me out, and then made a T-shirt that I came up with this. So I was given an icon, which if you see behind me, Skylar, see in the wall.
Oh, the MathPig icon. Yeah.
I work in a machine shop. That's 6 mil steel. I used 4,000 degree plasma table to cut that shit out and then spread it white. They're so happy. But yeah.
This is awesome.
Just a thank you to him as he runs away.
Can you just say it's a great pleasure. It's an honour to meet Skylar Fiction.
Hey, what's up, man?
I've known you for a long time.
Wildheart has been in the community for a very long time.
No, I know. Yeah. I'm familiar with the name. I'm sure he's probably been on the channel before. Probably.
Wildheart only started streaming about a year ago. We're all pitching in, giving the man hugs and kisses as much as we can.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure and honor to meet you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, bro. That's not much of an honor, let me tell you. I'm pretty
Wildheart. Who else we got new? Mowdy. Hello, Mowdy. I just had to step away. I had to go out and smoke some weed.
Yo, MathPig, are you token on some medical up there? No, that's great. It's seasoned.
MathPig has a 24-hour access to a farm. He doesn't have to.
I don't have 24 access.
I didn't think it's wow. I shouldn't ask you if it's legal in your part of the country.
It is not legal in.
I would imagine it's not.
Man, every time I'm on stream, I'm smoking. Like, no, it's not legal in my country. I do smoke. Get access to a guy who grows it. And if you're nice enough, tell him he'll grow what you like, you know. So, but it's good weed.
I want to go over there and try it sometime.
Oh man, I asked him about a month ago to grow super sour silver diesel haze. It's known as SSSDH. Look it up online. It is. If you go to Amsterdam, you go to the grey area and you buy the grey haze. Their grey haze is super sour silver diesel haze. Look it up online. Turns you into a kid with the best creative mind ever. That's basically the description of it.
See, that's the culture. You all go to Amsterdam over there like we go to Vegas over here, I guess. Like, it's where we go to.
The most I've ever paid for return flights to Amsterdam and back is maybe 75 sterling. Very cheap. It's a 45-minute flight. It's not far. Like.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting it pretty much legalized in most states now.
America's
getting it. You can get medical. Florida's medical.
Missouri's even medical, and Missouri's like a conservative state. They can't look at that revenue and not.
Yeah, well, the problem is it's all government exploit.
What's Mowdy doing?
Really?
Does anyone else want to know what Mowdy's chewing on there? He's hiding behind the mic. He's just like this. Oh.
I was interested in what Skylar was saying.
It was bright yellow, man. All I could think of was Bugs Bunny in a cart. I don't know. My brain's firing with a weed.
Is that a mark?
I know Skylar dips their toes in the political stuff a little more than I do, so I was interested in that. But
I've just never seen Marty
we
smoke.
can decide. We can play guess what's in Mouty's mouth instead if you want to.
I've never seen Marty smoke. I've never ever seen Marty smoke.
Here's the thing, right? The politics thing is out of control now, I think. Because what I don't like, right, is first, anything pretty much on the right in this country now is Trumpism, right? We got all this new Trump beliefs. And, you know, there are some, like, I think there are some old school Republicans left, more out west than they are on the south or the northeast.
Let's split the party, right? The Republican Party's split. It's like you got Cheney and her people in the old school Republicans on one side, and then all these new senators, the Boberts and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and all these dopey Trumpism people.
Yeah, I think some of that. I will say that a lot of the people like Bobert and the other lady, what's the other one, the blonde hair lady,
Marjorie
Taylor. I think that's more like the media. I mean, they're dumb. Don't get me wrong; they're dumb as a bag of bricks, right? But I think that it's too the media a little bit trying to make it look like this is the whole Republican Party. But to be fair, you know, the Trump people keep winning, right? Like Liz Cheney is going to lose. But anyways, besides, it looks like hopefully Trump's going to go down, and maybe. But I'm telling you, here's the thing, though. People on the left and Democrats better be worried if DeSantis gets the nomination, because he's much smarter than Trump. He's much more he's much better at debating than Trump is, and he's very popular behind Trump. And I think that the left right now, like the way, at least the ones I'm seeing on TikTok, the argument is over. All I ever see argument is either racism, gender issues, abortion, and like those are the three main things I see arguing. I'm like,
those are red herrings, though. When you talk about economics, when you talk about market, and when you talk about the opioid crisis, we need to be addressing.
I agree with you, but the problem is that's not what the left's focusing on. They're not focusing on those issues.
Because the lobbyists say, hey.
No, I don't think it's the lobbyists. I think it's just, I think it's young people. I think young people are really into all the gender arguments, all the race arguments.
Keeping the opioid crisis out of the spotlight there's lobbying behind that. There's people that stand behind that.
Well, it's just not sexy. Like, I mean, do you think about what a teenager and a young person is going to look at? They don't. I mean, if they have a family member they lost to opioid, sure, they might have like a personal connection to it. But when it's much easier just to pick on bigots in the Republican Party and just argue with them all day about like race and gender and things like that, and it's just like then to people. Now also think about people like I'm a centrist. I'm in the middle. Like I am completely for everything social on the left. I'm not a big abortion guy, but any kind of like gender, racial kind of things, I'm positive in that community for, right? But people in the center or middle, they don't want to hear about this stuff. What they want to hear is they want to hear about how healthcare is going to get fixed, how we're going to have better paying jobs, and like how are we going to can't lower unemployment any lower. But like the real issues that I think affect the left, they don't focus on. I don't know, maybe it's not sexy.
Yeah.
Well, because all the oxygen is being taken up. The squeaky wheels, right? They're getting the oil. And let's not kid ourselves. You know, I've had this conversation with Shannon a bunch of times. The House of Representatives has always been the kids' play yard of politics, right? Because they only need to represent the smallest part of a piece of, a geographical location, right? They can represent the craziest neighborhood in the craziest county in the craziest state, right? And the adults are the senators. So the House of Representatives has always had whack-a-jojos in it. It's just that now they have Twitter accounts and podcasts.
It's true.
And because it is a social media podcast world, to your point, Skylar, there's so much bigotry to fight. All those, the oxygen is being taken up with it. And so nobody's having like the level-headed, clear-eyed discussion about, but chop meat costs $4 a pound. What the fuck is up with that? Why does chicken breast cost $3 a pound? Like it used to be $1.99, like in $1.69 on sale. Like what? Like
Lurpak, man. Have you heard of Lurpak?
So much money to make dinner.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. I think you hit the nail on the head with that.
I could direct that whole conversation back to climate change if we want to go back to the source of the issue there. But again, that's one of those topics that's I guess it's not sexy
I
enough.
fe-
Is that the problem? 'Cause,
Well, I think with social media, it's becoming shorter and shorter and shorter because, I don't want to reinforce anyone's point, but with the younger generation, they have a shorter attention span. I personally, if I'm watching anything, to me, a video isn't entertaining. Even an edited video isn't entertaining unless it's 20 minutes to 30 minutes long. I forget if it's only 1 minute long. I'm not that old. Like, I walk into a room, I forget where I'm there. But it's just not fucking entertaining to me. I want information. I want something.
Oh, I'm that old.
Okay.
Not only am I that old, but I also teach students that think that their college experience is a fucking app.
You see, there's right. Just
with
let
you.
me finish.
They're like, well, I didn't see that in the assignments. I was like, oh, did you look online on like an actual computer? They're like, no, I was on my phone. I was like, you might need to access a computer to, like, don't treat college like an app. Like, please don't.
It's right. I don't want to use the tropes and I don't want to use the memes and stuff like that where it must be instant and we've no patience and shit like that. I hate using broad brush statements, but using stereotypes is very effective to get a point across. So with that in mind,
stereotypes are true sometimes. They're used for a reason.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. To exaggerate that, TikTok grew off, so to speak, and I'm not saying company-wide. There is Twitter. It got limited. You have these sort of arguments, and limiting the amount that you can say back to someone is very
different. Is there a wild card down below me?
I have no idea because I have turned the back off.
Wild heart, are you down there?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh God, it was his penis. He's
Oh,
flashing
wow.
his
What a time to turn the camera on.
All right, he's back. He's in the kitchen.
He's got his hands on you for the rest of you.
He did. Just I will say this, and then I'll move back again. Marty, he asked me to put you in connection with him because he wants to do cooking streams. He's now got a set up in the kitchen. So there you go. You've got an apprentice. Yeah. I think the TikTok sort of came off what Twitter is with the shorthandness and the attention span. It's just Twitter with videos. It's also started as something that's more based at a younger age, where Twitter was something that I don't want to use the phrase boomers or anything like that. It was people like myself, mid-30s and stuff that sort of started to use Twitter and move away from Facebook. Facebook would have been the older generation. It's become so short that no one gives a shit. Like, it doesn't even get a chance to get to your second-hand fucking long-term memory because, weed's fucking legal in all these states in America now. So we're all smoking weed and watching TikTok, sitting on the toilet instead of reading the back of a shampoo bottle, and nothing's learned.
And we're getting.
Did you learn more from the shampoo?
I don't know.
I can tell you now that sodium lauryl sulfate is the chemical that they use to make suds in all things, because I learned that from comparing different bottles. Conditioner doesn't have it. Sodium lauryl sulfate is what they use to make bubbles in the stuff that they use in the bathroom, and I learned that off the back of all the bottles in the bathroom.
Don't make anything cleaner, but they are a visual signal that you're doing something effective.
It's in the hips. That's what I've learned from TikTok. It's in the hips.
Mate,
all about
I need
the
your advice. I've got cabbage. I've got cabbage that's cooked. That's done. Cabbage is done. I've got steak in the microwave.
1 second. No. If I can, just.
Why do you have steak in the microwave?
Steak in the microwave. Hang on.
We have to investigate. No. It took me a minute. I had to switch my hack off, but he has. What the fuck? No, you're not coming back. Oh God.
I'm not cooking it in the microwave. I'm defrosting it. It was in the freezer.
In this heat. In 28 degrees with like 80 plus humidity, you need to defrost in a microwave.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that's how you did it. So I've got cabbage. I've got steak. What would you suggest? I can give you a list of the ingredients that I've got. What would be your best solution to the problem of me being hungry and wanted to eat?
You're gonna need some kind of like carb or starch. Do you have any potatoes?
Potatoes, yeah, I've got potatoes. Yeah.
I was thinking Philly cheese steak with a twist.
Where's the cabbage?
MathPig,
Is
you
the
ever had a
cabbage
real
the
Philly
twist?
cheesesteak?
Cabbage is the twist.
You're a fucking asshole. You're too high. Do not light up that joint.
No. I'm just thinking. Right. No. Just think about it this way. Okay, think of it this way. Wild Heart being Wild Heart. Let me finish Wild Heart. Wild Heart being Wild Heart. Which is safer for him to cook? Slices of steak or a big ass steak which could be dead raw in the middle and him end up with food poisoning?
John,
You're using a microwave. You're using a microwave.
MathPig, have you ever had a real cheesesteak? Like, you ever been in the States to Philly to have a real cheesesteak?
The furthest I went is Florida. I stayed on a friend of mine's timeshare, which is like the Sheldon complex just up the road from Disney. I got the worst experience of Florida possible. It was just all tourists. It was all hateful.
You were in Yosemite, I bet you. It's probably where I used to live.
I ended up one night, man. We were the night before we were going home. We got all dressed up to go out for a meal, and we got all dressed up to go to the regular place that we usually went to, and we'd been there for 2 weeks. But they don't get dressed up there, and the bouncer, which is like fucking 7 foot tall, built like a brick shit house with this beard down to here, was like, you know, you're going home last night. I know a place that closes afterwards, and we're thinking, brilliant. We get a lift. We go out to his truck. He's driving a Prius, and he drives us to a hick bar, and we stay there till like 6 in the morning.
I want to take a step back real quick because I were you at a strip bar?
No, it was one of the bars though at the time that you could smoke in.
Bouncers that often in Florida anymore.
Oh no, we're Irish, man. We talk to everybody.
No. What I'm saying is like, but you don't usually see bouncers in most bars in Florida, in Central Florida.
So after I talked to the bouncer, I went to the person that gives you $1 bills for your large one, and we were talking about what kind of restaurants were available.
And we hang out in the best places. All right, it was an awful holiday. It was just purest. I say purest. It was pure tourist trap. What we experienced.
Oh, you were definitely in Yosemite. You were near Disney World. That's why.
It was
that area.
The only place we didn't go to was Disney World. Or was it Disney World?
Yeah, but he went to the best places.
There
you know, like
Hotel
Chlamydia. You know, the best places.
I went with my girlfriend of the time, my best friend, and my girlfriend's best friend, and my best friend had a thing for my girlfriend's best friend, and she told me after the holiday she woke up one morning because they were sharing a room, you know, 2 single beds. She woke up one morning, he was standing directly above her in his pajamas and just went morning, and then turned around and walked out of the room. And I was like, dude, what the fuck were you? What?
Smooth.
We're not even gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
It was like the 3rd night in or something.
Wow.
Every girl loves a man of mystery.
When he stepped over my place.
James Bond can fuck the right off.
That's a dribbly steak.
MathPig, I just want you to know that you should, for your next experience, if you want to make it worse than your first experience, right? Just go to Philadelphia, go to Pat's and Gino's, like Kensington, right? No, not Kensington. Don't set this man up to get killed, right? You don't want to get.
Hey, Jim's Steaks burnt down. Skyler.
Did it?
Jim's Steaks burnt down.
Dude, that was
2 weeks
they're
ago.
good. They were really good cheesesteaks too, Jim's.
They were.
But the tourist thing is you go to Gino's and Pat's, which are the two 24-hour cheesesteak places in Philadelphia, right across from each other. And it is, the later you go, the funner it gets. You got like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. That's the golden era.
Well, we went there on the second day. We went to. I can't even remember what the name of the shop was. It wasn't Walmart. We went to Walmart and I seen tires, exhausts, and guns. It wasn't Walmart. We went somewhere else to get food. And we bought an awful lot of meat because we had a barbecue area out the front of where we were staying. So we were going to, grill a lot of meat and be Americans and shit. And we did that for about 3 days. And on the 3rd day or 4th day, whatever the fuck it was, I mentioned to the girlfriend, I've only been pooing purple for the last. I don't know what they put in the meat in here, and my best friend was doing the same. So I don't know what you put in your meat, but what came out of me was purple, man. I don't know, antibiotics or growth hormones.
I wonder if you
or
went
what.
to Publix. I mean, Publix is a good grocery store down here.
Super
Publix
classy.
is our main one.
Yeah. Super class. Man, I don't give a shit. We've already lost half the viewers since Wildheart come on and started shaking his garden peas. But
like Wildheart, are you just showing us everything in your cabinets? You're not putting all that in the same dish.
No, it's putting all in the microwave.
Yeah, the microwave.
That sounds like a great idea.
All at once.
Right.
In saying that, where we did stay, we
That's very
had
funny.
a designated taxi driver per area, you know, of it. And us being Irish, we're always the latest ones open. When we went to that hick bar, he felt that unsafe. He felt that concerned for our safety. He turned up and stayed and played pool with us for an hour. Because when he found out that the bouncer took us to a hick bar, we told him where we were and he turned up.
Was it a big billiards bar?
Can
like
you look
tons of
backstage,
billiards?
please?
No,
MathPig,
there was
can you-
two pool
Hang on,
tables.
MathPig, can you look backstage, MathPig?
Or the beep.
Because I'm trying to figure out where, like, you're near Disney, right? And there's not a lot of hick things near Disney. Like, so I'm trying
Half
to
an
get
hour,
idea-
40 minutes of a drive. I don't know, man. Like,
But why the fuck would they drive? So here's the thing. I'm not like questioning you, MathPig. I'm just in my mind. I'm trying to think the logic.
do
of
take this into
bartender.
consideration. Now, I am 39 as of last week, and I did this when I was maybe 19, 20. So there is a, you know.
Yeah, but like the thing about being near Disney, it's like everything's there. Like all attractions, restaurants.
Oh, it
bars.
just got better. The stream just got better.
Yay!
Hi, Dad.
Wow.
That's all right.
MV.
We
I
walked
love you.
we
I'm
walked
Tyler.
in, right?
Tyler.
We
I'm
we
Maddie.
walked in dressed in like, you know, semi suits and nice dresses and shit like that. And I literally think everybody in the bar stopped and just went.
I'm wondering if they brought you down to St. Cloud. That's the only possibility I could think. You were somewhere in Kissimmee, and then on one day, this big road 192 that goes all the way down to Disney, and it goes down to
I
St.
agree with
Cloud.
you.
I think
I
that
agree
might have
with
been.
you. I
The
think
reason
down
we
in
went
Cloud.
there was because when the law kicked in about smoking in bars, this was
Yeah.
one of the bars that you were allowed to still smoke
this
in
might be.
because
Here,
the
you want to
roof
know a funny fact about that?
the roof was so high and they didn't serve food or whatever the fuck the loophole was or whatever the fuck it was. You could smoke in this bar, so that's the
You
why
wanna know
we
what the
always.
loophole is?
Pardon?
You want to know what the loophole is? They pay a fine every year. And the fine doesn't get bigger. And it's basically the same thing as a smoking permit.
Well, it
in
was
a-
20 years ago nearly. Well,
'cause
15.
It's like they paid the fine within the last 12 months and they can't fine them again for another 12 months.
Now it's hard now to find anywhere you're going to smoke a cigarette inside of a restaurant. And like I've never even been to a restaurant. I've seen someone do it since I was like 18. Like when I was 18, I served at Olive Garden, and they had a smoking room. I remember them having one. But now it's like it's really.
There was
crazy, actually.
one county here in Missouri that allowed smoking in restaurants up until about 5 years ago, is like the most recently that I've heard. And it was like one of those where it's like, oh, like you want to like go for, you know, a 30-minute drive over to the next county over so we can go to a diner and smoke in the diner or whatever.
How's Missouri? How is that is a place to live? Like,
No, it isn't. Not right now. Not if you enjoy bodily autonomy, it isn't.
I just escaped Missouri yesterday. I'm back in Illinois.
I mean, besides all the
Made it
rights thing,
out.
it's just not a very nice
Lucky
place.
you.
It's just boring. It's like flat. There's nothing there.
It's not flat.
Missouri?
Missouri's
no,
flat, isn't
Missouri's
it?
beautiful.
It's not flat.
Missouri's got
It
the
is
mountains, the
Ohio.
Ozark Mountains.
Ohio's flat.
Oh, it's got its own.
Yeah, maybe I'm
It-
thinking.
Well, the northern Missouri is kind of flat, and the more
There's
west
some
you go.
plains up at the top,
Oh.
but actually that's one of the really cool things about Missouri is that there are like so many different areas of Missouri that have like different cultural historical things and also like different like landscape. You know, there's really very beautiful places.
The Ozark Mountains are gorgeous, and I love going hiking. There's so many rivers and springs to go kayaking or rafting on. I think Missouri has. I think I may be wrong. I think Missouri has the most rivers in the United States. The state with the most rivers.
We have more rivers than I think Mississippi is the river state. There's one state that's called the river state, and it's like, well, actually, we have more rivers than them, but you know, whatever. We're the show me state, which everybody misinterprets our state motto, but like, whatever. It's I think either people think it's like give me your proof, like show me, like put your, you know, like show me your evidence, or it's like. I think the other thing is like show me's that we're famous for.
The funny thing I think about Missouri is that people think of it like a southern state, but the southern part of it isn't necessarily southern. It's so the whole state is southern, and then around like the further you get, the closer you get to St. Louis, the more or the less southern it is.
And Kansas City is a little bit not so southern, and then there's Boone County in the middle, which is like the home of Mizzou, Missouri State University, Columbia University, and Stevens College is also there. So like they have like 3 pretty decent sized colleges. It's a very like liberal area, but then as soon as you get outside of like the city limits, it becomes
Where I grew up, that was a couple hours drive. Everywhere else was
I just have to sing something very quickly, which is down now down 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 down.
Because Fabio's now slid down his seat ever so slightly and watching porn.
It's because somebody mentioned Kansas.
Yeah. Masquerading as a man with a reason.
I don't know, I get lost in the Americanness of it. It's far too much American talk there for me.
Yeah. Just about the little cities in the flyover state, the cities in the flyover states is what we're talking about.
I love my house in a little village with cows across from me and horses over there.
I am seriously considering immigrating for the first time in my life. I mean, like I said that in the chat, but like I wasn't joking.
Wow.
Yeah.
At least come across.
Any ideas? What, Canada or?
Anywhere with like national health care.
Well, just at least come across the river and live in Illinois. It's better than Missouri.
Yeah. It's
more expensive.
A little bit more expensive over there. It's like the thing is like if I'm gonna move, I might just move country. Yeah.
Well, the UK does have National Health Service, but unfortunately, you have to pay through the nose for it.
Hey, can you mute Wildheart? Just while you're back there.
I'll mute.
Okay, thank you.
Will you sponsor me, Dad?
I beg your pardon?
Will you sponsor me to immigrate?
Sponsor? Yeah, of course I'll sponsor you. You can come and stay
Isn't
here
that
for a
how it
little
works?
while.
That's how it works in US. That we have to you have to have somebody sponsor you.
No, we accept anybody that's.
Get a green card for working, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't even need that. If you're American, they love Americans over here.
You can come and stay and then fill out a test or whatever and all that shit. Legal route, but.
No, I want to do it like legal. From, what was that?
So what we can do is put you in a shipping container.
Yeah.
Shipping containers. There's the way.
Shipping container is another way.
You have to arrange a job before you get here, Maya.
That's not difficult, though, is it? Let's face it.
No.
I don't know. She can live with you.
You know what? We were talking about this the other day. We have only actually one major that I know of and have seen hemp farm in Ireland, in North and South. In the island of Ireland, there's only one big hemp farm. They do get funding, and there's money introduced and stuff. I was talking to the lady one time. She came into the place where I work, and they sell to France. They sell all over the world, and it's
interesting. Will they give a permit to an immigrant?
No, but they may to someone you're living with, and you can be the main manager or living or boss or the person that runs it.
Okay.
Well, no, it's only on my mind because we were talking about this the other night. It was something that she mentioned the other night, just not here now. You know about emigrating?
What was that, Wildheart? I didn't see it.
It was his ass covered in oil.
I think it was a piece of meat.
It looked like was it beef?
I think so, but like I haven't eaten any type of meat in like over a decade, so
I don't
I
eat beef.
must be guessing.
I don't eat pork either. That's why me and Robbie can't be together.
What's that?
So don't eat pork.
Oh. Yeah, I'm willing to give up my dietary restrictions if it means getting out of this hellhole.
Well, you move to Ireland, you have to experience the Ulster fry at least once, or the Irish fry, at least once. Get the black pudding, the white pudding, the black pudding, the white.
I feel like I've had this when I was a kid. When I visited Ireland when I was younger, I was not vegetarian at the time.
Ah, so you've had the blood pudding.
Yes.
Ah, lovely. Well, then you've already been through you've been
wasn't
christened.
bad.
Oh no, you've been
People
christened.
think it's like disgusting. It's like it's not bad. Like
It's actually fucking awful. I prefer the white pudding, and the white pudding is. I don't like the black pudding very much. It's too irony.
it's
It is.
very heavy.
Yes.
It's like yeah.
That I would take away black pudding, and I would take away white pudding, and I would introduce a Northern Ireland delicacy called vegetable roll, which is made of sausage meat and has very little vegetables in it whatsoever. But it's called vegetable roll, and it's far nicer. We lost Marty.
Oh.
It has been going a while. We have been rambling on for a while. I think we've covered every topic, and now we're talking about what's best to eat for breakfast to ruin your arteries. So.
No, black pudding is made from where my mother was born, Bury.
Well,
All I heard was somebody got porn and Wild Hearts now a furry. Did anyone else hear that?
No. Black pudding is actually it comes from Bury. There's Bury black pudding. My mother was born in Bury, and that Bury, Bury, Bury.
Furry. So not you're into
Furry.
porn and you're now a furry. Vegetable roll comes from.
No, I never said that.
Vegetable roll is from Bury, and your mum's from Bury.
Okay, so vegetable roll is what? Explain it to me.
Google it. It would be easier.
I mean, I'm guessing it's a vegetable in a roll.
Oh, it is sausage meat with some.
What?
Yeah. It's like a giant sausage, but then they slice it into slices, so it looks like
Ooh.
black and white pudding.
I was with you for the first part. I understood, but oof. As soon as you got to slicing.
It's vegetable roll. I don't understand, man. I had 4 of them for a snack earlier.
Why is it called vegetable roll?
Don't know.
It's
It's
a vegetable egg roll.
No.
It's
Okay,
because
okay,
it's
we're
from
going.
Berry,
Okay, right.
apparently.
Okay, we're doing this. We're getting up the Google.
It's from Berry. That's why
Okay.
it's called that.
That makes perfect sense. Thanks.
In Berry, they don't have vegetables. Meat is their
Oh.
vegetables.
Okay.
When they
Well, a
say
pig-
meat and 2 veg, what they really mean is 3 different types of meat.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, a pig is a vegetable over there.
Oh, okay. Chicken, vegetable.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
definitely.
Like-
Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna. All right. Vegetable roll is, and then it's highlighted this, a uniquely Northern Irish delicacy made up of cuts of lean beef and seasoned with fresh herbs and vegetables like leeks and onions. And it's sliced, so it looks like black and white pudding. It looks like a mini burger.
Does it
Okay.
get? I'm assuming that it gets like formed into like a log.
Yes, and then like a giant sausage, and then
Okay. So, but it's all mushed up in there. It's not like rolled or anything. It's okay. It's just like a sausage. Okay.
Yeah,
It
that looks-
is, in fact, a sausage.
It almost looks like pepperoni in a sense.
and then
Kinda,
you
yeah.
slice it. Now that is better than black and white pudding all day long. White
Like
pudding's too
Canadian pepperoni.
white pudding's too bland, black pudding's too irony.
Right.
This
Can
is
anybody see how much vegetable is in a vegetable roll, by the
very
way?
fucking little, man. Very little.
Like a vegetable farted on this shit while it was getting processed.
Okay, that's good. Well, no,
It's called vegetable roll.
it does look quite tasty, I must
It
admit.
is absolutely gorgeous, man.
Yeah.
Traditionally, in my house, my ma's doing that much shit that one side of your vegetable roll comes completely burnt and the other side is nearly raw, and then she just covers it with beans. That's the best way to take vegetable roll. One
Let me
side
ask
black.
you- I'm sorry, in your country, bro. Like in America, like our like go-to foreign food, like, at least from like where I'm at in Florida, is Chinese.
Yeah.
Like that's our go-to. Like I've heard in Europe, it's Indian food is the main. It's kind of like the.
In
in
saying that,
Britain,
man,
yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Indian, but I am in a small village with maybe 20 or 30,000 population, and there is an award-winning Indian restaurant in our village that people would come to, you know. I personally don't like Indian at all. I am a pizza fucking lover. I love me some pizza. I love me
American
some
pizzas.
Oh no, we're talking about this with Fabio, and he's gonna beat the fuck out of me. Like, I love me some pizza. I love me some lasagna. We've already discussed how I don't even make the white sauce correct. Oh no, the red sauce correctly. Yeah.
Yeah. Who does though? Eh?
Yeah.
So about these,
Personally, I just use ketchup, and I'd be damned with the whole thing.
There you go. Yeah, it's red. It's a sauce.
Oh God.
Win.
is the beef that goes into it, is it raw or is it like pre-cooked beef?
Oh no,
Like,
you
I'm
put it
wondering
in
about-
raw. In vegetable roll, it's all raw.
It's all raw, so like you wouldn't want to eat it.
No.
Like,
You cook
You
it.
wouldn't
with
want to
it.
eat it. You're correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Shut your mouth, Simon. It's gorgeous.
No, curry. One of the reasons we get associated with it quite a bit, Skylar, is that Queen Victoria was very keen on a curry.
Is that
So
why?
it was a royal dish back in the 1800s.
See, we have a decent. Don't get me wrong. We have a decent amount here. There's a decent amount of Indian food, especially in Florida. Florida is very diverse. We've got like this is a food hub like Vegas or different places, at least Central Florida. But it's without all the ritz and glamour as far as goes. But dude, I'll tell you what, man.
Speak for yourself. I lived in Naples, all right?
Well, that's retirement.
Well,
I live in
I mean-
Central Florida. Well, in Central Florida, you deal with traffic, but you get all the cool things. Like
We're
LA.
so into curries that we've exported our curry to India. They now learn to cook
Really?
curry in India the way the
I'd
British
try
like
that.
it, so they can then start a restaurant over here and train to be an English curry expert.
What about you, Fabio? Is there like a particular thing in Italy?
English curry. That's like
that
American
you guys
Chinese.
insource that is from,
Yeah.
from another country?
Gonna say
It's
McDonald's.
very-
It's gonna say McDonald's.
It's very, it depends on the place where you are. I would say that the universal one, it's pizza. That's pretty common. But
Yeah, that's your like original Italian pizza, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
That's the
well, yeah, I mean the various types of pizza. I mean, so
There are,
yeah.
I mean, I would like. It looks good. I've seen the Italian version of pizza. I mean, it looks delicious. I'd love to try it and stuff.
There is at least, on top of my mind, there's at least 3 kinds of pizza you can eat in Italy. So there is, I mean, the one from Naples, classic one with the guy.
After Fabio Wildheart.
Against the border. There is another
Looking
kind
forward
of
to
one
that,
which kind of looks the New York pizza. It's very thin. And then there is the pizza they make in Rome, which is more like a focaccia. So it's all fluffy, not only on the sides. So yeah, but I would say pizza is the most common one. But again, it's very dependent. I mean, you can find. Depending on the area, it might be either Chinese or Japanese or that kind of stuff. It's very contextual. So
I'm from Missouri, so like let's talk about barbecue and how the rest of the world fucking calls their shit barbecue.
I can't believe this is where this hangout has went. I really can't. Wildheart has something to say about his wet steak.
No, it's not about I just want to say that B is beautiful. B is very beautiful.
Bree is like, shut up, I'm on my phone.
That's the best chat up line I think Bree has heard in her maybe last 6 months.
She is very beautiful.
What I do?
Forget no, you
What I do?
Gorgeous.
you, you are very beautiful.
Oh.
I just want you to know that.
I try.
And then after that,
I know I'm feeling the same, Skylar, left out.
thank you, Fabio, and who's the other guy that's left? Fabio, Moat. Thank you, Fabio and Moat, Fab and Moat, for you changed my diet basically, so I'll be a lot healthier from now on. So thank you very much for that.
Sundays at 7 UK, Wildheart, 7 PM UK. Marty does the fucking kitchen streams.
Yeah. I've got.
Be there or be staked. Oh, that actually looks really. I don't know what. That looks like something. Definitely original.
There's definitely food piled on that plate.
That is original.
Is it though? Is it?
Well, maybe not. It looked kind of like bones, is what I saw.
Yeah, I know it looked like a lamb.
That's what I was like. Oh man. I don't know. I don't know about that barbecue statement though. Now to be fair, I haven't had Missouri barbecue. But, you know, here's the thing is like on the road, because I've heard Tennessee's got the best barbecue is what I hear. And Tennessee's got a pretty good run on it, but you know, I can't be honest. I've never had Missouri.
There's like two schools of thought in Missouri that there's like the St. Louis barbecue and the Kansas City barbecue. And those are like
the Kansas City barbecue wins hands down. The whole state except for the city of St. Louis agrees.
Okay, like I'm not gonna get into St. Louis versus Kansas City, but I think everybody in Missouri agrees that like those are the only two ways to do barbecue. And anybody else who does it any other way besides one of those two ways is just fucked up. Like what the fuck? Like sauce or dry rub? Sauce or dry rub? Pick one.
I am
What's the major difference? The difference is in the ski,
fucking
right?
lost.
Well, all I'm saying is thank goodness we don't have an Australian in the hangout.
Oh, I actually have an Australian texting me asking, "Is this going to go offline?" Because they don't want to show their on screen. Adventurer.
I can go offline. I'm fine with
No,
that.
but you know Adventurer. Yeah, we were talking the other night. Yeah.
Hi, Adventurer.
I'll be right back. Let my dog out.
Who let the dogs out? Skylar.
Yeah.
That's the highlight of humor right now. We're watching Wild Heart eat microwave steak. Come on.
Minnow, did you see my new frames? Aren't they cute? You got them.
I am thinking.
Yes,
Clark,
they are cute.
All
I like
I'm
the little,
thinking.
like it's a little cat eye. Like it's just like a, yeah, like a hint at it.
They
I love it.
look like Clark Kent glasses that when you've put them on though in reverse that you've become the person rather than taking them off and becoming Superman. You've put them on and become Bree.
That's a really good way to put it. Yeah, they suit your face very well and your personality.
Mine sounded nicer. Yeah, they suit your face. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I looked at the bigger ones, but they were too wide. They taped my face weird, so these ones are good.
My glasses are held together with insulation tape, welding wire, and they're made of, this is off a pair of glasses, this is off a different pair of glasses, the frames are different, and the wee nose thing broke to the point where it was hurting me, so I ground that off with a grinder at work. It worked.
He does the same thing with his streaming setup. It's all cobbled together with repaired and.
Excuse me, my
give it a few more years and you'll have a Venn diagram of your own as well.
Oh man, I tried for like fucking 3 hours to get an optician's appointment and nobody would see me. They were like, in 2 days, 3 days, you can all go fuck yourself. And
so,
talking of the streaming, shout out to Emma Fitzpatrick in the chat. Emma today.
Hey,
Emma bought me a Canon EOS M50 today. I was talking
everybody
to Fab.
here wear glasses except for Skylar. Skylar, wear your glasses. We can't hear you. You're muted.
Unlike the rest of you, I have perfect vision, and you know, I'm not relatable. I'm sorry, I can't relate to you blind folks.
I'm really blind.
Who said that? Who said that?
Like,
who said that?
I lost my sight because I had to watch all your bullshit. That's what it is. So yeah.
You know, I wanted glasses. I even went. You know, it was a couple of years ago. I was like, well, we're gonna get. You know, I gotta get the kids' eyes checked. My wife at the time wanted her eyes checked. I was like, let's get my eyes checked. And like, I was almost like, man, I kind of want glasses. And they were like, nope, you don't need these. Get out of here.
No, it's a
You look good with glasses though, especially with the hat you wear. Like just glasses.
I want laces like so bad.
I think I've seen you in sunglasses before, right? When you used to do the stream, like when you walk around with your phone in your backyard, Skylar.
I may have.
There was a few of them.
I get lost in them. I mean, how many episodes do you think I did of that show? It's got to be over like 300-400. I gotta think, like, of just going on there.
I'm just saying, if we wanted to play Guess Who with the panel, they'd get you just right away because you're not wearing glasses.
Yeah, it's true. I started not wearing my hat on TikTok when I shaved my head, so that happened for a little bit.
Oh, I haven't seen it. How's it look?
It's all right. It's all right. I don't know. I like the hat.
Were you?
Though.
Yeah.
I gotta do that. The hair isn't long enough. There's not much hair left up there.
Oh no, man! Just take the leap. Just take the leap. Go bald and bearded. Bald and bearded is the best way to be.
typically that's what I do. I go to a barber, have them all shave it all off and stuff, but then I
Skylar,
I've tried bald and bearded, and this is better.
Raw.
I've tried them both.
Raw.
I don't think I look like a very good woman.
I agree.
Raw from the old community. Raw 5069
he
says
lives in
hello.
Central Florida. He lives around here.
They say hello.
Hey. I didn't even looking at the audience here. What's going on here? Maybe.
You do have to open another thing because I'm doing.
Oh yeah. That's what I thought. I can see. Let me say hello, people.
Yeah, I was listening to Raw's music. Wildheart got the link to Raw's music about what, maybe a month ago. We were listening to Raw's song that he sung, Google Plus back in the days. Raw's a good musician. He reminds me very much of C6 Steve. In the way he plays his music, in the way, he reminds me a lot of. Oh, you are modded, look, there you are. Right,
Wow.
we're probably in saying that. Oh, he clicked the wrong button.
He's like, well, fine then. Bye bye.
Raw, you literally
He'll
blew
come back.
Skylar's mind.
I'm sure he'll come back.
I just
pissed him off. What'd you say?
No, I pressed the wrong button. I actually closed myself out. I clicked the wrong.
Don't rage
link
quit,
up there.
Skylar. Why are you running?
I should. I think I've kept my. I'm trying to keep my level head for so long now. It's hard. That's why I don't. I gotta get away from TikTok. I'm not even arguing with people anymore. I gotta stop it. I just gotta stop. It's not worth
I
my
just
time.
got on TikTok. I just got on TikTok, and you're gonna get away from it now?
It's a monster. And the TikTok, I think it makes people more terrible, the worse than YouTube, because
I agree. Because it's like I was saying earlier in the, I don't know if you saw in the side chat, like it's bite-sized video, and therefore there is no room.
Put it in the
to,
shoulder, Brie.
discuss nuance. No.
Will it sit in your
there's
shoulder?
not- What?
I'm asking Bree, will that sit on her shoulder?
Maybe. Should probably try to climb up.
It usually sits. It used to sit in the
Is it
mic.
gonna get bigger?
Yeah, this is not full grown yet.
Okay.
I can't get over how much of a cartoon it looks like. Oh, sorry, it's Wildheart's channel. Let Wildheart talk. It's his channel. Sorry, go on ahead, Wildheart.
I can just say how beautiful Brie is. She's really beautiful.
I check your Twitter DMs
Yeah,
there, Brie.
She's really beautiful. Right.
I have a bug on my shoulder.
It's better than a chip. It's better than a chip.
So cute,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. In saying that, it is 1:45. At 1:45, we'll be doing this 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only came on here for a philosophical discussion.
I know, and we didn't even get the whole idea. Like, man, me and Simos were talking before yesterday, and we were going to name the stream Wheat and Mice. What is it? Wheat creates mice.
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
From wheat to mice.
From wheat to mice. That's what it was.
Is that like how rotting meat creates?
I think. No, I haven't fully looked.
Yes, it is. You're right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scientific
Or
method.
just dead bodies in general, as we've learned in JC.
There you go.
I'm sure Wildheart.
No.
I'm sure Wildheart.
Wildheart on screen.
I'm sure Wildheart will have an after party, and
Yes, I'll go and set that up now.
Wildheart looks for any name of it. I thought, so he does that. So if anyone wants to continue the banter and talk to Wildheart, it's good for his mental health.
Good. Okay. So, yeah, I know I've been playing Hell Let Loose, which is like a PTSD simulator.
Lovely.
It's a PTSD simulator.
Beats Daisy.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It is.
No.
If I can
Yeah,
do,
exactly.
If I can
recommend it.
If I can just, as I say, Savage, I want to thank you. I know you've only joined. Last in, first shout out and all that, you know. I love the bones.
Aw.
Fabio is an inspiration to us all, alright? Always expect everybody is stupid and doesn't give a shit and then work up from that. Alright? Inspiration to us all. Simos, in my opinion, we're hoping to do a non-God channel and do that, so do subscribe to that. Wild Heart's a mess. Bree's fantastic and plays with bugs with her finger. And Skylar, I am privileged. This is the second and longest time that you've been on here. And
I'm gonna come by more often. I'm gonna get on YouTube. I just don't do it much anymore.
I don't want. No, shut the fuck up. You got your moment. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'll put you backstage. Shut the fuck up. All right. I generally, if it wasn't for you and Josh and all that stuff at the start and all that, I wouldn't be anywhere and have anything or any of this. I wouldn't have had the confidence. And shout out to Padme for giving me the icon and the T-shirt. Raptor Bits.
I appreciate you. Yeah, man. It's
from like.
No, thank you.
I've made a lot of friends on here, and it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't had to start.
MathPig.
All right, have your fucking moment then. Go on.
Right, I need to find my mouth.
Jesus, dude.
I need to thank Scala Fiction.
What?
Scala Fiction has been brilliant. I've been watching him for years. Just thank you for all your content. Thank you for all the.
Under his claw.
You guys embarrass me.
He's gonna slip into your DMs too.
Jesus back. Bring him back. I need him.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I get the problem is like
copyright now because it's got popular.
Well, it's just like I put so much work into that channel for so many years, and like I put like so many people guessed that went on to start doing debates with other people, and the channel just didn't get any further than it got. We kind of got to where it was. We had lots of people living, and I think it's just
You were early on the scene, Skylar. You were early on the scene, so in some ways you were creating, rather than reaping the benefits, right?
Yeah, and I always try to. The problem is too is I get in these stupid fights with people over dumb things, like on Twitter.
Suck a bag of dicks.
My arguments, and then I get it.
Same.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm just not, typical. There's different things but I think I don't get into it. But anyways, it's just hard to get on now and ramble. Like I get on now, my kit live. Like when Dr. Josh is there, it's always easy for me. Josh always laughs at my shitty jokes. So he laughs at my jokes, and it's easier for me to feel good and go.
I literally can't go live. You can look back in all of my videos, man. There's something like 320 or whatever the fuck they are, and there's maybe one that's less than 10 minutes of me being on my own. I can't go live by myself. I always need someone to bounce off. I understand where you're coming from.
MathPig, by the way, this is also being streamed on my channel, so you know.
Okay, yeah, okay. So you couldn't wait, you impatient motherfucker. I'm in Sammy's StreamYard. Do you have mods in Sammy's too?
No. I don't have ones in Sammy's.
Oh, you're just screaming, motherfucker. Right, okay.
I'm just wanting to know that anything you say will be taken, and I'm streaming live at the moment. It's the after show, but I've started at 9.
Everybody's fantastic except for Wildheart because he's an asshole. So there we go. Anything I say is true. Is that what we're going with? Right. Yeah. Well then, seeing as you're doing that, and I don't think that I mind, but other people on the channel may mind that, so I'm going to run around and give everyone a chance to shout out, say thank you, and all the rest of it, and then
Well, let me say something to Wildheart's audience. I just take this time, just for a moment, to ask you, have you given your life to Raptor Jesus yet? Right? Have you done it? Because he claws at your heart.
Yes,
Are you going to open the door? That's up to you, because raptors don't open doors, but they can open them if they're unlocked.
Under his claws.
Yes.
Several times I've opened up my heart to Raptor Jesus.
Okay, we have people on the panel minding you sharing to their channel Wild, so we're just going to round it up.
Not that familiar with Raptor Jesus. Is that some kind of Ford truck Jesus or something?
Raptor Jesus is the true, I mean, he's literally wearing a shirt with it right here.
Okay.
Raptor Jesus, like I said, Nowhere in the Bible does it say Jesus wasn't a rapper.
That is true. It is as let me just quote Otangelo. It is. I have a thesis about this. It is consistent with Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen. Think about the Adam and Eve story, right? Who do they blame? They want to blame like they go and they blame the serpent, the animals, but it was really the humans who messed everything up, right? You know, I mean, the raptors were definitely around before humans. We all know that by science.
Yeah.
So God created the raptors first. Here comes humans coming around, messing up our day.
If anyone's seen Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Voyager proved this.
Really, it's the women. Okay, just to point that out.
Well,
no, but I mean, I agree. That's right. Not only, as you said, Sam is consistent. Actually, I think you were going to say it's compatible.
It's compatible. Thank you. That is the word I was looking for. Yes. Thank you for the correction.
Thank you very much. I just feel everybody has the option if they want to go icon, because why? I just don't feel right doing that because you're a dick, Whiteheart. But you didn't ask anyone.
I am dick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're a lovable cunt. You know.
I can't go away from that. Bree is amazing. Bree is.
Okay, before this turns into an OnlyFans with Wildheart and Bree, I just want to thank everybody for coming.
Saying
thank you, MathPig. Thank you.
Remember, people. Remember, everybody. Think for yourselves. And Wildheart, you haven't linked the after party because you're poo. So
I put the StreamYard link in the side chat.
Yeah. Okay, everybody in the audience, join the StreamYard. Think for yourselves,
Thank
fuckers.
you, MathPig.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.